Hello! Happy Sunday! Just so weird not having any music. I have to start here today for a reason. My chat is broken. My chat widget does not work today. I think they're making some changes to it, and I don't know. I think they're moving websites and everything, so I can't use it. So yeah, there will be no chat widget, and there's nothing for you to look at in the chatting screen. So there's just Umineko today. Nothing else. Hello, Panis. Hello, Trace. Congrats on first, Panis. Wow, you were here so early. You were here way too early. Hello, Miggles. Hello, Uni. Hello, Broken Bee. Hello, Austin. Hello, Seriously What the Fuck Clap. Hello, Noel. I think I read every name. Hello, Rising. Hello, Invaderoid. We are dead. I killed you. Shot you. As you deserve. Just Umineko, I'm leaving. Okay, bye. I can't offer you anything else. This is all I have. Walk away if you don't like it. Howdy. Howdy. Yeah, well, I guess we're just gonna play the game. It feels so wrong. I don't know. Everything feels, not correct. But hey, we make do. Oh. Getting straight into it. Not even 10 minutes have passed. I kind of forgot what happened 2 days ago, so... I think we had a bunch of crazy things happen. We had the whole battle between old Beato and new Beato, or young Beato, I don't know. And old Beato kind of lost. And then she explained the whole concept of Schrödinger's box cat thing to Batra, which he then used against new Beato, and he acted all high and mighty as if he knew what the hell he was talking about. Meanwhile, all the siblings were freaking out because they couldn't find any of the servants. And they found at least 5 magic circles across the whole mansion. But the kids are safe, the cousins are safe. I think that's about it. Not much really happened. I feel like that whole scene with the towers and whatnot took a lot of time. Straight. Fastest gamer in the West. You've never seen me go this far. Far and fast. The freaking tube thing. Yeah, the brown tube. The little green gremlins inside the brown tube, or is it actually science? Thank God she explained Schrödinger's cat. I've never had that explained to me in a visual novel before. Yeah, I'm sure it's not a popular concept in the slightest. It's totally unpopular. So he was like, okay, well, then the magic and the non-magic belief can exist at the same time, which I don't agree with, but you know, we'll let him have this. Sorry, I'm reading through this. Let's start the real thing. Okay, I don't know. I'm guessing that it's gonna continue with the siblings. I think we stopped actually at the chapter end, which is pretty good for once. So I think this was the last thing that we saw was Beato having a conversation with Batra, which is why I'm so confused. I wish there was like a name thing here so I knew what I was reading. But that's okay. It was like 9/11 all over again. Not really. It appeared to be like 9/11, but it was actually 4 towers. So it wasn't actually 9/11. Don't worry about it. Rukishi covered his bases here. It was like 2 9/11s. No! How could that possibly be? 1822. Damn it. Wasn't there only 3? There was 4 that Beato summoned, and I think 1 that white hair bad. So technically there was 5. 5 towers. I don't know. It was kind of crazy. Hello, Amadis. Welcome in. I liked your drawing of... oh god. Did I forget the name? the Ave Mujika girl. And my go girl. I haven't finished Ave Mujika, but sometime soon, hopefully. Anyway, I think that about sums it up. It made me very happy, that's good. Oh, okay. It is very hot today, so I'm suffering a little bit, but let's get started, I think. Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids. These were supposed to be a fun couple of days where the cousins deepened their friendship. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us. Oh yeah, he did say he would speed it up, so I'm guessing we're just gonna gloss past the whole, oh, we found all of the servants dead kind of thing. Sakiko is one of the characters of all time. I didn't really like her all that much in my go, but I think I'm gonna like her a little bit more in Ave Mujika. I've also started watching the new Bang Dream, the new one that I also forgot the name of. But the subtitles on the site that I was watching it on kind of sucked, so I have to look for a new one. Because it wasn't translating like the text messages and everything that are kind of important for the drama. It's Umineko Sunday, and Umineko is famously chill for sure. Shannon and Khan, oh yeah. This is gonna be a heartbreak all over again. Except that Batara's kind of skipping over it. I'll find a good site to watch anime in. I think I know some that are adless. I think because I have an ad blocker, it is not that bad anyway. But if you have a good recommendation, I'd appreciate it. Because the one that I had didn't translate all the important stuff. It made me so angry. Sakiko from Arknights, and since I don't read the story, all I know is that she hates herself or something. Sakiko from Arknights? Sorry, this is like not relevant to Umineko, I know. Wait, she appears in Arknights? That's kind of crazy, I did not know that. Huh. The more you know. That is truly her. I don't know if I would say she hates herself, but then again, I haven't finished. I get annoyed when you can't remove the subs. I feel like in Ave Mujika's, or my Bang Dreams case, let's just shorten it like that, you kind of need the subs for the text messages between the characters, where there's actually lore hidden, and like the characters have strong reactions to the text messages, and then they're not translated, and you're just sitting there like, hello? What is that about? What are they talking about? What had upset this character? They did a collab. Oh, I did not know that. That's very cool. Didn't they have one with Dungeon Meshi? Ooh, that's really cool. I don't know much about Arknights. I know that Shirota really likes it. But yeah, I don't know anything about it though. Only way to learn is to not have stuff translated, but if I never find out what it says, how will I learn? And My Little Pony collab. Huh. That's very different, but you know, I'm sure people like it. Not what I expected. That's kind of insane. Joji, Aniki, and Jeshka were crying over Shannon-chan and Kanon-kun's deaths. Right now, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby to the first floor of the guest house. And there were 12 people there. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 until yesterday, and in one night, a third of that number had lost their lives. I eventually sobered up from my agitation, and along with my lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel a faint sense of unreality. I want to think this is some kind of bad dream. My cheap escapism keeps telling me that over and over. What is this background? Sorry, where did they say they were? In the lobby? Oh, they've never been in here. First floor of the guest house. Hello, Vlad. Welcome in. Maria had gone back to sleep on the sofa Rosa was sitting in. Rather than having her nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep. The adults were holding items from what was apparently grandfather's collection. Short-barrel Winchester rifles, apparently relics from a time he'd been obsessed with westerns. There were 4 guns all together. Those had been split up among the 4 siblings, Uncle Klaus, Aunt Eva, my dad, and Aunt Rosa. Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table, and the siblings were silently loading them. They all had guns, part 2. Hello, Pita, welcome in. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to give them 4 guns. These people, the emotionally unstable people, I don't know, man. It's a little scary. Even now, touching one of these. I get the feeling Dad'll yell, "Don't touch that," and hit me. I don't know how I feel about seeing Klaus with a gun. I don't think he deserves one. Well, isn't that great? No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again. So I'm guessing they found Kinzo dead as well. I mean, they did mention that only 12 people were left alive from the way that they worded it, so... Goda with 4 guns could easily solve this, true. I can't believe it. To think that father would meet this kind of end. Well, I never did expect Kinzo-san to die normally in his bed. But even so, it is too horrible. Hey, I wonder if that really was father. I think it might be a different person's corpse used as a substitute to trick us. No, it was father, without a doubt. You saw his toes, right? Generally speaking, there aren't many humans with 6 toes on both feet. But that doesn't mean that such people don't exist. I've heard that polydactyly isn't that rare a disease. He was a man who liked large-scale tricks, right? He might have obtained a corpse from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. That would be going a bit too far, I think. He had them fucked up feet? I mean, I don't think it looks that out of place. I don't know, I've never seen it on a person in real life, but you know, I don't know, I think feet look fucked up. If you have 5, 6, no toes, 20 toes, they're just kind of, feet are not that nice. Imagine reading Umineko and realizing you have 6 toes on each foot. Check right now, check if you have 6. Or 6 or 7 toes. Check it. Hello, Kuro. Ridiculous. Why would he do something like that? I'd agree if it was a normal person. But this is father we're talking about. You can't be sure Kirie-san's talking nonsense. I mean, why would he do that, though? After all, burning a corpse makes it hard to identify. Still, there should be a few ways to examine him from his teeth and bone structure. If the police investigated, of course they'd be able to know whose body it was right away. The problem is that we need a telephone engineer more than the police right now. I mean, yeah, you can't call the police if you don't have a phone to call them with. Hello, Lark. Welcome in. I realize now that if I don't read the chat out loud, I just seem like a crazy person talking to myself if I upload this on YouTube, huh? I'm reading a chat. Trust. I love how they always go, yeah, I could imagine Dad doing something completely insane. I mean, it fits him. It kinda, I don't know. I can see him doing that, but then again, I don't think he was that freaky as to somehow prepare a corpse in advance. But then again, I don't know. He could be that fucked up. Are you not a crazy person talking to yourself? You're so right. I am. You're all just messages in my head. To the person on the bottom, right? Yeah, on the bottom right. I'm talking to myself. You don't talk yourself when you're reading, Umi? Sometimes I actually do just read stuff out loud to myself because it helps me focus and also take in the information a little bit better. But usually I don't record myself. Well, I guess I am doing that. I don't know. It's weird. The boats probably won't come in this typhoon. So will they arrive tomorrow? Most likely, the boat will come again at 9 tomorrow. Then, I believe we will be able to contact the police. Oh, so naive. It's the same for us. And the culprit. Until the typhoon passes, this island will be closed off. They have to know that it wasn't one of them, right? They were all together. They all have an alibi from being with each other. Both the cousins and the siblings. Just from our parents' conversation, you could probably figure out the general gist, but let's explain the situation anyway. First, early that morning, in various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses, including grandfather, and all the servants had been found one after another. I kinda thought that Beato would maybe, if we assume it was her, would kill all of the servants so that they don't get stuck on accusing them again. But it's kind of funny that they still accuse Kinzo even while he might be dead. I think... Oh yeah. We got all their little death messages, I suppose. Let's see. Let's read all of them, even though it might be the same as before. Ushiromiya Kinzo, his body was found as a burnt corpse in the underground boiler room's incinerator. No evidence of a struggle was found inside the incinerator, so it's probably reasonable to assume that he was burned after his murder. Too bad this time. It was game over right from the start. I mean, it would be kind of messed up and also very difficult to get Kinzo into the burner alive and then burn him alive. I think that's kind of difficult to do, but, you know, what do I know? Servant Genji, his body was found in the VIP room on the 2nd floor. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. To thank Genji for his many years of service, let us allow him to rest in the VIP room. Servant Shannon, her corpse was found in a parlor on the 1st floor. The weapon used on her is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. Let Shannon have the parlor with its wonderful view of the rose garden on sunny days. Hello, Nue. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi. I hope you had fun with your game. Chance of Sonar? I hope I said that correctly. The game looked very cool. I hope it was fun. Welcome in, Nue. Welcome in. Akire, Marihan, Shuni. Hi. You could drug him and drag him into the incinerator. Even then, wouldn't it be kind of difficult? He's a big guy. He's kind of, I mean, from his sprite, he's rather tall and bulky. We cleared 2 areas. Let's go! It looked kind of difficult with all the glyphs and trying to translate it, but you did well. It looked very fun. It looked really good. But yeah, we just started Umineko. I don't have a chat, so I'm sorry. It's gone. Maybe I can get a temporary widget working or something. I got stuck a little, but it's very satisfying. It looked really good. They probably have dollies and a house with maids and butlers. Dollies? Like dolls? No, that makes no sense. Dollies? What does that mean? Chance is so cool. I need more language puzzle games. It reminded me a lot of Tunic, since Tunic also has like a language system that works with glyphs, and you kind of have to translate it yourself by working it out. Doilies? The lace things. I don't know what that is. Is that a I don't know. I don't know what that is. Anyway, nice of them to leave her the rose garden view. Servant Kanan. His corpse was found in the chapel. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. For Kanan the chapel, let him continue to protect the Lord's precious place, even after death. Servant Goda. His corpse was found in a waiting room on the 3rd floor. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. Why gun, I wonder? The room next to the study is fitting for him, considering how much he wanted to earn Kinzo's favor. Servant Kumasawa. Her corpse was found in the guest room on the 2nd floor. The weapon used on her is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. This seldom used 2nd floor guest room was her secret napping spot. Okay. Did we get anything new here? Oh yeah, we never read this. Oh, now we get to see the whole dress. Look at that beauty. Gorgeous. They both love poofy dresses. Virgilia. Oh no, sorry. Varugiria, I think is how they said it. A now retired endless witch and Beatrice's teacher. She used the endless magic properly and devoted her life to the smiles and happiness of many people. She taught Beatrice the endless magic, believing that Beatrice would also devote herself to the people, and retired. Though she was Beatrice's teacher, she was also a magician employed by Beatrice's family. For that reason, she interacted with Beatrice in a manner fitting for a servant. Some point to this as the source of Beatrice's arrogance and recklessness. This whole thing makes it seem like she was human. And Ronove also hints towards it a lot. One's grandma's used to knit a lot. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna hunt for food now. Good luck figuring out the mysteries. Thank you! I hope you have a good, I don't know, what is it? Lunch? Late lunch? Very early dinner? Enjoy the food. Oh, those things. I see. Oh. You don't need to say her name like Battles. I just say Virgilia too. I feel like Varugiria is kind of difficult to say. I don't know. I'll see. Hello, and Kenny. Welcome in. Breakfast. That's kind of late breakfast. Things you know but never heard the name of. Exactly. First, grandfather had been in the boiler room completely burned. The servants had died, each shut up in the rooms throughout the mansion that had magic circles drawn on them. The cause of death for the servants was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nanjo's diagnosis, There was a high likelihood that they had been stabbed by something like a spear, or possibly shot with a gun. That was why the adults had started arming themselves with Winchesters. Wouldn't they have heard a gunshot though? I feel like they would be so loud that even though there's like a storm going on outside, typhoon, and they were talking in the parlor, I think? Or maybe in the dining room, they would have heard it still. And what made the situation even more chaotic was the fact that the telephones had become unusable. It was unknown if lightning had caused them to break down or if the culprit had broken them. At any rate, since contact with the outside had been cut off, we couldn't reach the police. So until the typhoon passes and a boat comes tomorrow morning, we'll have to protect ourselves. After all, Rokenjima is now isolated by the typhoon. And just as we're stuck on this island, so is the culprit. It seemed that the adults had stayed up all night, holding the family conference in the mansion's dining hall the whole time. And yet, the crime had occurred in this mansion. So right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, the murderer had been killing under the same roof. They say Aunt Natsuhi has been strict about locking the doors and windows at the night. And yet, some suspicious person had entered and left the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of the mansion was too large to be safe. So they had pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house where we had been. Which brings us to the present. Joji Aniki had begged to see Shanan-chan's corpse, but the adults had refused, saying that he mustn't do so until the police arrived. That wasn't just because they wanted to seal all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed 6 people was wandering about the mansion. To the Ushiromiya family right now, the mansion that should have been their home was now a danger zone that an unknown murderer could enter and leave at will. After all, it's a huge mansion. There are plenty of blind spots and dark places, and it's too vast to guarantee absolute safety with this number of people. Relatively speaking, this guest house was much smaller. It had 2 above-ground stories, something like 10 or so rooms. Apparently, it had originally been constructed to serve as a small hotel, as part of the plan to turn this island into a resort. So it was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep safe. It made for a good place to hole up in. Also, it was extremely likely that this mass murder of 6 people was a game. After all, the culprit had proclaimed so in a letter. I'm kind of happy that Jessica and Joji didn't have to see Shanan and Kanon dead, because that would break my heart for the 3rd time. And also, I don't know. I'm just happy that they didn't have to gain extra trauma on top of everything else, you know? It's like Virgilia. I mean, it's kind of how I'm saying it, just a little bit more emphasis on the I. A resort where the family patriarch is shouting from his porch and you can't see him. You can only hear the deranged screams of someone who got rejected too many times and is so lonely and is yearning for his crush. What a nice stay that would have been, and it smells like absinthe the whole time. I heard that a Western-style envelope with the family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, had been found in the boiler room where grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This was what the letter said. So that there will be no misunderstandings, the game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle of the epitaph, not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, the pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It would be wiser to spend your time solving the epitaph instead of searching for me. If no one can solve the riddle, no one will survive. If a person appears who can miraculously solve it, I will give them all the gold of the Golden Land, the Ushiromiya family headship, and all of my power. I was the one who succeeded the Ushiromiya family headship after Kinzo-sama. I look forward to seeing who will succeed to that headship after me. The Golden Witch, Beatrice. I'm kind of rooting for Eva to solve the epitaph and finally achieve that goal of hers, but I feel like if she does succeed, and Beato for once does not win a game, then the game of Umineko would be over, no? She can't lose yet. She has to keep winning for it to keep going, right? And no pool, but you have the ocean. That kind of makes up for it, I think. Yeah, it is definitely different from the first 2 episodes. If it wasn't signed by Beato, you could imagine that it would have been written by Klaus, maybe? Since he would be the one to receive the headship after Kinzo's passing. But since it's signed, I don't know. This riddle of the epitaph was that thing. That strange epitaph written by the portrait of the witch on display in the hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the one who had written it, and the person who solved it would, supposedly, be given the inheritance or the hidden gold or something like that. Ever since it was first put on display there several years ago, the relatives had secretly tried to solve that riddle, despite saying on the surface that the whole idea was silly. However, up until today, no one had solved it. We were once again being urged to solve that unintelligible riddle, and this time, we were faced with a threat that we'd all be killed if we didn't solve it. If that wasn't a game, what else could it be? The bold opinion that we should search the premises for the culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance they were armed, and there might not be just one of them. And while they might have been able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. The opinion that won out in the end was that we should avoid needlessly antagonizing the culprit, and hole up in a safe place while we waited for the police to arrive. And hopefully, maybe, solve the epitaph? Yes? You trying to do that? Maybe? After the adults carefully checked that the doors and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. As they loaded their guns to distract themselves from the tension, their expressions showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had still barely begun. There was nothing for me to do. Now, all I could do was be taught how to use a gun, to prepare for the off chance of something happening that led to an excess of guns. That's fine. Just obediently stay here, me and the rest of you. It's always gonna be 6 people in the beginning, because that's what the epitaph mentions, my dear Batora. 6 people in the beginning again. And this time, it's grandfather and all of the servants put together. Oh, she's still here. Nice. Most likely. That child has carefully studied your moves from the last game. And has made an optimal move by taking the pieces you were most likely to suspect from the start. That makes sense. That was true both last time and the time before that. The servants who know everything about the mansion and who walk around with keys always fall into the most suspicious category of people. A good example in the last game would be Jessica's closed room. If I'd only accepted that a servant was the culprit, that wouldn't even have been a closed room. And so, that child went straight for them. Probably to block off a method of escape you'd likely to attempt sooner or later. That's what I said! That's what I said! A pattern requires a third time, right? I mean, I feel like twice is enough for me to get the idea. Beato already proclaimed and read that there are no more than 18 people on this island.
それはつまり諦めろってことだ。
In other words, it's time to give up on that.
もう俺は18人の誰かを疑わざるを得ない。
Now I've got to suspect one of the 18.
あの子はその18人の駒をすべて奪い切った上で存在しないはずの19人目として降臨し
That child will probably come at you by stealing the pieces for all of the 18, while also making an appearance as a 19th person who shouldn't exist.
あなたに自らが魔女であることを認めさせる手で来るでしょう
For then you would be forced to accept that your opponent is a witch.
魔法を見せつけることで強引に屈服させる恫喝的手法がもはや通じない以上
After all, now that the intimidation approach has failed, trying to force you to surrender by showing you magic,
あの子にさせるのは成功法だけなのですから
the only remaining option is a frontal attack.
上等だ。
I really like the soundtrack. There's something calming about it.
もうはったりは通用しねえぜ。
Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore.
気をつけて
Be careful.
まやかしは魔女の最も得意とするところ
Deception is what witches are best at.
あの子が何を言おうと何を見せようと
No matter what your opponent says or shows you,
あなたが信じる真実を決して脅かすことなどできないのです
it will not be able to threaten the truth that you believe in.
それを忘れないで
Don't forget that. Hello, Martin Shack. Seeing an Umineko streamer with the OG sprites is a blessing. I love the OG sprites. Aren't they beautiful?
お
Glad you think so.
そう何度も同じ手が通用してたまるかってんだ。
Sure, as if I'd fall for the same moves over and over.
出てこいよ。ベアトリーチェ。
Come on out, Beatrice.
おっ始めようぜ。
Let's get started.
すでに勝負のテーブルに着席しておるわ
Oh, wow, they're so cool. I'm already seated at the table of the
わ
contest,
らわの手番もすでに終了しておる
and my turn is already complete.
マダムを敵に回すことになるとは
To think we would end up having Madame as our foe.
厄介ですね、お嬢様。
This will not be easy, milady.
手の内をだいぶ読まれますよ。
Our moves will be read thoroughly. I think the soundtrack in playing right now is new, right? I don't think I've heard this before. Beata would never deceive me. She's always been so truthful with us. They really are. Agreed!
かまわ
I care not.
お師匠様の指し手などすでに時代遅れの工程よ
By now, teachers' moves are all old-fashioned classics.
恐れるに足りぬわ
There's nothing to fear.
あなたが私の教えた古典以上の何をさせるのか
So, just what moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you?
期待していますよベアトリーチェ
I look forward to seeing Beatrice.
いいのかバトラ
You okay with this, Batora?
魔女を否定するそなたが魔女を軍師につけても
Can someone who denies witches really accept a witch as a strategist?
くだらねえ挑発は無用だ。
Your stupid provocation is
こい
pointless.
つは俺の相談役。いや、セコンドだ。
This is my advisor. No, my second.
ガチンコで殴り合うのは俺とお前だってことには何の変化もない。
That doesn't change one bit that this is a fist fight between you and me.
分かっておる
I understand.
よちよちのお前には自転車にも補助輪が必要だろう
Keep mocking him. It's good when she does that. One as wobbly as yourself probably needs training wheels on his bicycle.
好きにするがよい
Do as you like.
さあ始めろ
Come, let us begin.
お前の手番だ
It's your turn.
事件現場の再構築から始める。
Isn't this... This is a Higurashi track, no, but like different. It's so similar to one of the Higurashi tracks. Oh gosh, I forgot which one. It's not quite the same, but it's very similar. I think it's played once before in episode 1's Tea Party. I may be wrong. Oh, maybe. It's been so long. Love how Beato calls Virgilia Shisho. She sounds like a martial artist. Yeah. Teacher! This one is good. I don't think I've heard that in Higu yet. It's not quite the same for sure. But this part is super similar to a Higurashi track. It's usually playing when they're like scheming some stuff. It plays a lot in the later chapters too. Let's begin with the reconstruction of the crime scene. Morgiria, quickly please.
最初の遺体発見はシャノンから
The first corpse discovered was
屋
Shannon's.
敷内の1階客間より発見されました
She was found in the parlor on the first floor of the mansion.
扉と窓は施錠され密室を構成していました
The door and windows were locked and a closed room was established.
ベアトに説明要求。
Beato, I need some details.
密室の定義を再確認。
Let's reconfirm the definition of a closed room. Indeed.
密室の定義は内外の出入りが一切隔絶された室内を指す
The term closed room refers to a room where the inside and the outside are completely cut off from each other.
当然内外からの一切の侵入脱出はおろか干渉もできない
Naturally, it will be impossible to even affect things across that boundary line, much less enter or escape across it.
それは包括的に隠し扉の否定外部干渉の余地一切の否定を含む
This includes an all-inclusive denial of the existence of hidden doors as well as all possibility of intervention from the outside.
以後この定義を
Henceforth, this shall be referred to as
ベアトリーチェの密室定義と呼称する
Beatrice's closed room definition.
細部確認。
It has an official term now. This is Dancing Pipe, first time it shows up. It's really good, I like it. And the fact that it reminds me of Higurashi is kind of nice. Feels nostalgic. Let's focus in a bit.
外部干渉の余地の定義とは
How do you define all possibility of intervention from the outside?
外部から釣り糸やら長くて細い棒やらなどを使って直接的に干渉するあらゆる余地だ
I refer to all types of direct intervention from the outside, such as using a fishing line or a long, thin rod.
つまり扉や窓にはそのような小細工を混ぜる隙間すらもないと判断する
In conclusion, there are no gaps in the doors and windows through which such tricks will work. Sorry.
どうかな
I wonder about that.
仮に隙間がなくてもリモコンなどの電波は干渉できるはずだぜ
Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with radio waves, like with a remote control, right?
よかろ
Very well.
電波などそれに類する遠隔操作技術も干渉不可能であると定義に追加
That
す
is
る
oddly specific. I'll add to this definition that interference due to radio waves and related methods of remote control shall be impossible.
客間には内線電話もあるぜ
There's also an extension telephone in the parlor.
それと連動した仕掛けは遠隔操作にはならねえのか
A device connected to that wouldn't count as a remote control, right?
電話はすでに使用不能だろう
The phones are already unusable, are they not?
がああもう面倒
Whatever.
だそれも含めようぜ
I'll include that too.
直接間接のあらゆる方法で室外よりの密室内への干渉は不可能だ
All direct and indirect methods of interfering with the inside of the closed room from the outside of the room are impossible.
声やノックは
What about a voice or a knock?
密室に入らずに外部から干渉できるはずだぜ
Those should be able to interfere from the outside without someone entering the room, right?
密室であっても声をかけることやノックは不可能ではなかろう
Even though it's a closed room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out.
意思疎通の可否は密室の定義に反しない
The closed room definition does not cover whether transmission of intent across the boundary is possible or not.
つまり外部との伝達方法までは途絶していると定義できないんだな
In other words, you can't make it so your definition includes the blockage of all methods of communication with the outside.
そうなります。
That is indeed the case.
了解したぜ。
Understood.
シャノンちゃんの客間はそのベアトリーチェの密室定義を満たすってんだな。
So, Shannon-chan's parlor satisfies Beatrice's closed room definition, right? I believe some of these may be based on common fan ideas at the time. Inventing Dimpa in the 80s.
その通りだ。
Correct.
密室定義了解した。
Closed room definition understood. It's Beatrice's closed room definition, mind you, Batra.
バルギリア続けてくれ。
Continue, Vargiria. Vargiria.
はい。
I'm trying my best.
シャノンの遺体はマスターキー1本を所持。
Yes. Shannon's corpse was in possession of one master key.
発見した親族がこれを回収。
The relatives who discovered her collected this.
ベアトに副賞要求。
Beato repeated.
今回のマスターキーの本数は
How many master keys this time?
前回と同じ。
The same as last time.
各使用人が1本ずつで5本だ。
There are 5, one for each servant. Okay, into the Red Truth Discord channel you go. Where is it? Umineko? We haven't had a Red Truth in quite some time. It's been... The last one was on August 9th. It's been so long.
ってことは密室にはまだならねえってわけさ。
Which means this still isn't a closed room.
マスターキーはまだ4本余ってる。
There's still 4 master keys left.
シャノンちゃんを殺害後4本の鍵のいずれかで施錠するだけの話だ。
It just means that after Shannon-chan was murdered, one of the other 4 keys locked it.
その通りでございます。
Correct.
そして見つかったのはマスターキーだけではありませんよ。
And it wasn't only a master key that was found.
はい。遺体のすぐ傍らに紋章入りの養鶏封筒が。
Alongside the corpse, there was a Western envelope with a family crest.
中に手紙はなく、2階客室の鍵が入っていました。
Huh. Instead of a letter, the key to a guest room on the second floor was inside it.
2階客室の鍵。
The key to a second floor guest
それ
room.
は2階客室の扉をマスターキー以外に唯一開けることができる鍵だという定義でいいのか。
The only key other than the master key that can open the door to that second floor guest room. Is that definition correct?
問題ないぞ。
Indeed, there's no problem.
そしてマスターキーと違い、その1本しかない。
And unlike the master keys, only one of those exists.
つまりある特定の部屋を開けるにはマスターキー5本に加え
In other words, apart from the 5 master keys,
その1本しかないというわけです。
there will be only one key that can unlock certain rooms. Also, sorry for like wiggling constantly. I have this thing that when I listen to music that I like, I keep moving. I have to do it. I'm sorry. You're gonna see me go left and right the whole time.
これはつまり次は2階客室へ行けというメッセージなのか。
In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the second floor guest room next.
となると大人たちは2階客室へ移動したな。
So the adults moved to the second floor guest room, right?
はい。2階客室の扉もまた施錠され、魔法陣が描かれていました。
Yes, the door to the second floor guest room was locked and a magic circle was drawn on it.
親族はシャノンの遺体脇より入手したその鍵によって解錠。
The relatives unlocked it with the key they had found near Shannon's corpse. I'm wondering, like, what had happened if they hadn't gone into the parlor where Shannon died? What if they had gone into a different room? I wonder if they would have ran out of keys eventually, if the keys are spread throughout the rooms that the servants were found in.
室内にて熊沢の遺体を発見。
Inside, Kumasawa's corpse was discovered.
室内は密室。
it was a closed room.
定義はベアトリーチェの密室定義に準拠。
One that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition.
熊沢はマスターキー1本を所持。
Kumasawa was in possession of one master key.
これを親族が回収。
The relatives collected this.
そしてシャノン同様に遺体の傍らに養鶏封筒を発見。
And, like in Shannon's case, there was a Western envelope discovered alongside her.
中には3階控え室の鍵が。
Inside was the key to the third floor waiting room.
親族は3階控え室へ移動。
Waiting room? The relatives moved to the third floor waiting room.
そして3階控え室の扉にも魔法陣でさらに施錠されていて。
Waiting room? I'm sorry, what is a waiting room? Who was in there again? I know it's gonna be said to me in a second, but Genji was VIP Sheppel. Oh, Goda maybe? Yeah, waiting room next to the study maybe? So there was a magic circle on the door to the third floor waiting room, and that door was locked?
はい。
Yes.
室内にてゴーダの遺体を発見。
This is why you never go into a locked room on Rokkenjima. Yeah, It's kind of funny that they mentioned talking or knocking against the door would not be covered by the whole closed room definition. The only possibility that I see is that they're paid actors necessary. So, like, essentially they're paid actors. And it would be necessary for someone to stand outside the door and be like, okay, you can kill yourself now. You have all the keys. You can lock the door from the inside. Just end it here, right now. And that's like the only way that you'd be able to do it. I don't understand. How would they do it otherwise? If everything else is like... or magic. No, we don't believe in magic in this house, okay? No magic. Paid actors. They get paid to kill themselves or to pretend to be dead? Something like that. A place where people stay when waiting for Kinzo to call them to the study. That's kind of very extra. No, not with magic. No, no, no. Yes, inside the room, Goda's corpse was discovered.
室内は密室。
The room was a closed room,
ベアトリーチェの密室定義に準拠。
one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition.
ゴーダはマスターキー1本を所持。
Goda was in possession of one master
こ
key.
れを親族が回収。
The relatives collected this.
そしてこれまで同様に紋章入りの養鶏封筒を発見。
And, like up until now, a Western envelope with the family seal was
中
discovered,
より2階貴賓室の鍵が。
inside of which was the key to the second floor VIP room.
親族は2階貴賓室へ移動。
The relatives moved to the second floor VIP room.
なんなんだこいつは。
What's going on
て
here?
めえ、何を企んでやがる。
What are you planning? I wonder if they'll find a key that leads them to the parlor, because, you know, that's where Shannon was, and they got in there by breaking the window, so... Assuming they wouldn't break a window, there must be a key somewhere to the parlor as well. Kenzo is very extra. Yeah, that's super weird. That is very, very extra. I feel like everything else they have in the mansion and on the island is pretty normal, but a whole room just for people to wait in? That's kind of a lot. Also, thank you for the hydrate and posture check and the head pat. I appreciate it. Oh, I was kind of shrimping in my chair.
そう睨むほどのものでもあるまい。密室ではあるが、それを開けるマスターキーはまだ何本もあるではないか。
There's no need to glare, is there? It may be a closed room, but there are still multiple master keys that can open it, correct?
律儀にマスターキー以外の固有の鍵も申請している。
And besides the master keys, I've even given you keys specific to each room.
気に入らねえ展開だぜ。
I don't like where this is going.
だが、展開は読め。
But I'm starting to see how it'll turn out. Well, there's gonna be all the keys found in the end, but they were all locked inside of a room that couldn't be unlocked without a master key or the key that was in a different room.
この調子で6人続いてくってわけか。
So it continues like this for all 6 people?
はい、その通りです。
Yes, that is correct.
2階貴賓室にて源氏の遺体を発見。
Inside the second floor VIP room, Genji's corpse was discovered.
マスターキー1本を回収。
One master key was collected.
地下ボイラー室の鍵を発見。
The key to the underground boiler room was discovered.
地下ボイラー室へ移動。
They moved to the underground boiler
地
room.
下ボイラー室にて金蔵の遺体を発見。
Inside the underground boiler room, Kinzo's corpse was discovered.
礼拝堂の鍵を発見。
The key to the chapel was discovered.
礼拝堂に移動。
They moved to the chapel.
礼拝堂にてカノンの遺体を発見。
Inside the chapel, Kanon's corpse was discovered.
マスターキー1本を回収。
One master key was collected,
1階客間の鍵を発見。
and the key to the first floor parlor was discovered. So they had to for sure break a window to get into one of these.
以上で6名の遺体発見の再構築を終了します。
With this, our reconstruction of how all 6 corpses were discovered is complete.
補足です。
An addendum.
金蔵の遺体の傍らで発見された養鶏封筒には礼拝堂の鍵と一緒に手紙が同封されておりました。
Along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in the western envelope found near Kinzo's corpse.
手紙の内容はすでにご確認の通り、
The contents of the letter were as you saw.
自分の謎を解くよう改めて催促する内容です。
It further urged the relatives to solve the riddle of the epitaph.
ってことはなんだよこれ。
In that case, what's going on?
最後のカノン君のところに一番最初のシャノンちゃんの客間の鍵があったってことは。
If the last place where Kanan was had the key to the very first room, the parlor where Shannon
密
was,
室が6つ呪術つなぎになってるってことなのか。
that makes 6 closed rooms all tied together, right?
その通り。
That is very messy. What if Kinzo is tired of them ignoring the epitaph? What if he really wants to urge them to finally solve the epitaph? He's like, why won't someone play a game with me? And he talks with his servants and he's like, okay, let's play a little game, shall we? Let's make a six closed room murder game where you lock yourself in a room and pretend to be dead. Super dead, so that Nanjo is super convinced, or maybe Nanjo is in on it, so that people solve the freaking epitaph, maybe? Yeah, it's a loop. There's no way. There's no way to enter these rooms other than the windows and the door. The windows are closed. Most of them only close and open from the inside, or close from the inside at the very least. And some of the no, I think almost all doors are able to close from the inside too, and from the outside, except for Kinzo's, which auto locks. What the hell? How do you do this? Oh, yeah, it's locked rooms all the way down. This is messed up. Banger of an idea from Beatrice. Don't know if it means anything, but it looks really cool. It is very cool. I do want to actually take a screenshot of this. This is very convoluted, but to be fair, was it really Beato that did this? Technically it was Ronove, because Beato kind of left it up to him to figure out how to create the closed room murders this time around. Let's play a game. I'll jump in the incinerator. No, for that he actually did hire a paid actor, except the paid actor was dead. It was a corpse, paid corpse. Now, I'm beginning to question whether or not Genji might have also had the key to Kinzo's room on him, because where did they even get the guns from? Technically, all of these, or most of these servants, were killed in Kinzo's room. Even Kinzo himself was burned in his own study. So I kind of want them to go in there and check. I figured that they got the guns from there, but maybe they got the guns from elsewhere. Because they can't enter Kinzo's room without the one key that opens the door to his room, which usually is carried by Genji, but Genji doesn't have it on him. And they also didn't mention anything about Kinzo having the key to his own room on him, so... Did they not have those keys? Why did they not have those keys? Wouldn't it be nice to go check in that room? I don't know. Incredible image, you gotta admit. It's pretty cool. I like this. I really like this image. Glued some extra toes on the paid corpse. Yep. I mean, it depends on like what state the corpse was already in, like if it was burned to the bones, but I mean, your toes have bones. You would have to see 6 bones. Hello, Taylor, welcome in. You're theorizing. I'm thinking that there might be a hint in Kinzo's room, since they have no way to check in that room. And that it would be kind of interesting to go in there. But what would there be that could solve this mystery? I can't help but think that Kinzo is not really dead. Why would you kill him differently than the rest of them? Except out of spite, because he deserves it. They keep telling, oh, the reason that he was burned was to obscure the nature of his identity. But why would you do that? Like, okay, let's spin the chessboard around. What reason would they have to do this? It would have to be so that you think that Kinzo is dead. But why would that matter? Maybe Kinzo wants to appear dead? Maybe, what if... I kept saying that maybe it's just Kinzo behind all of this and he has like an extra master super key that can open all the doors and rooms, and he just killed all of his servants. I don't know. I don't think that's it. I don't think Kinzo's behind all of this, but he clearly was scheming something when he called all the servants over to his room. So if Beato is not real, if he called all the servants, or well, he called Genji, Shannon, and Kanon over to his room, he could have killed them there. He could have then put them in their own rooms. Wait a second. No, I'm confused. What if Kinzo really did kill himself? He had the key. Sorry. Now I have to go back. No, I don't think I can. Can I still see it? The key to the chapel was discovered. He could have done all of the other rooms and then gone into the boiler room. Wait, isn't there also a different exit in the boiler room? They never talked about it. There's another exit that you can take from the boiler room. So what if he planted like a fake Kinzo corpse? I don't remember what key opens and closes the other door to the boiler room, but he could have put that corpse there, put the key in there and the letter and stuff, left through the other door. Yeah? Something like that? I don't know. Would there be a hint there if you're not shown it? Maybe not. Didn't they get the guns from his study using Genji's key? That's unclear. They always say that they got the guns from Kinzo's collection, but they never quite specify where it is, I think. So you don't really know where they got the guns from. I do always assume that it's from Kinzo's room, but they didn't say that, I think. At least it wasn't mentioned here. If Beato's not real, how could you say such a thing? She was real, okay? She died, technically. Listen, I'm trying to see this from Batara's perspective. Umi 3 makes you feel insane over and over and over again. Yeah. the one to the courtyard, sure. I'm assuming you need the boiler room key for that door too. Same key. Closed room definition, sadly. There must be vents, right? No, but she did say that the only way to enter and leave was windows and doors, so there can't be a vent. How would you do that? I don't understand. Unless you like break a window and replace it from the outside. You could do it if you broke a window and then replace the window afterwards, right? If like imagine Shannon did it. She broke a window. No, that makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. It has to be Kinzo because his corpse is the only one that isn't 100% identifiable. But I don't think there's a window in the boiler room, right? Oh, I don't know. That's my only guess is there's a window in the boiler room. Real Kinzo prepped the corpse and the whole room, broke the window, replaced the window from the outside. And that's it. That's the closed room mystery solved. It's all Kinzo's fault.
6つの密室が数珠つなぎになっておる。
It's raining pretty hard. There would probably be evidence if a window was ever opened or missing. Fuck. You're right. But hey, that's not important, right? They never checked that. My head fucking hurts. Natsuhi give. Same. That is correct. The 6 closed rooms are all tied together.
それぞれを解錠する鍵はそれぞれ隣り合う密室によって閉じ込められている。
The keys to unlock each one are all shut up inside the next room.
つまり6つの密室が1つの巨大密室を形成し
In other words, the 6 closed rooms form one massive closed
そ
room.
の中に全てのマスターキーと固有鍵全てを閉じ込めてしまっているのだ。
And all of the master keys, as well as the individual room keys, are all shut up inside it.
ちなみに6つの部屋の扉や窓はいずれも普通。
Furthermore, all of the doors and windows on the 6 rooms are
オ
normal.
ートロックのような鍵を使用せず施錠できるような仕掛けは存在しない。
Okay, let me take a screenshot of this. She's gonna say, I mean, Batara already asked, like, oh, the door could have been replaced or something. And she was like, nope, it's the same door. So I'm gonna assume the same is true for all the windows. So my theory goes out the window with the window. I can at least agree with it's all Kinzo's fault part. I mean, he's the one kind of wanting her to revive and also pushing her to do this if she is real and stuff, you know? Tsumari. Did I read that?
どうだよ綺麗なもんだろ
Furthermore, all of the doors and windows on the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. Auto lock. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it?
ですからお嬢様そのあたりに品がございます
Let her laugh, Ronobe. Once again, milady, that is not dignified. When Ronobe rebuked her, Beato stuck her tongue at him without showing any signs of shame. Oh my god, she's so moe, so cute.
悪い悪い
Sorry.
ついついバトラと遊んでると上機嫌になってしまうのでな
Playing with Batara just put me in such a good mood.
それでバトラ
So, Batara,
お前の指し手はどうなんだよ
what do you think of my move?
特に思いつかないんならわらわがヤギたちに遺体を運ばせて
If you can't think of anything in particular, I wouldn't mind showing you how I made the goats carry the corpses.
魔法にて全ての扉を封じるところを特別に見せてやってもいいんだぜ
And seal all of the rooms with magic, okay?
好きにしろ
Do what you want.
お前の主張する魔法説として拝聴しとく
I'll listen respectfully to this magic theory that you claim is true.
だが俺はお前の主張とは全く異なる人間説
However, I can claim my human
お
theory.
前の主張に一切干渉されることなく主張することができる
even though it's completely different from yours without any interference from your claim. I don't know, I feel like this is taking the easy way out. You know, you're just like, okay, well, you have your opinion, I can have my opinion, and both can just stand in the room, and we have no proof for either of them. And therefore, we just have to move on to the next game. That's kind of how he's playing it right now. I don't know. He's kind of just giving up. You gotta think, Batara, you gotta think. I don't know. Would Rikishi consider keeping track of the rain? I don't know. Ryu has come out saying that at some point he just kind of ignored the rain. Huh. Just complicated everything. So technically, before she did mention that the doors weren't replaced, but she never talked about the windows, I don't think. So technically my theory could still stand. Though you'd have to be really careful with like picking up all the shards of glass, making sure no one hears you. Though in the boiler room, maybe they wouldn't hear it. What about the roof? What about the roof? Did someone remove the ceiling and go in? I mean, that's a little harder to do, no? Breaking a window is a little easier than removing the whole ceiling. I mean, not impossible, but very extra. Okay, there's gonna be an ad break in like 20 seconds. Unfortunately, I tried to snooze it as much as I could. We're just gonna have to take a break in the middle of this discussion. So I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Okay, I'm back. And I got a temporary chat widget to work because the other one, I don't know. I don't know if I can get it fixed. They changed it to basically be like a thing that you have to download from something that wasn't something that you had to download, and I'm not willing to download yet another program to my PC. I have had enough. So, at least there's something. There's Miggles in the back now. I forgot to say this earlier, but the more I see of Mion, the more I understand why she's your fave. She's just so sweet. I don't know, she's like the perfect mix of tomboyish, but also, you know, she has feelings. And even though she tries to hide them and act all tough and stuff, she's super sweet. I love her. She's awesome. Also, thank you for the 85 stream streak, Vita. I'll come back to you guys too. Sorry, I'm blocking your message. You know, Hey, it works. It's really easy to read, isn't it? It's so, I don't know, it's so simple. It's good, I think. For now, anyway. She's kind of awesome. Hell yeah. Speedy wasn't just talking to the voices inside their head. No, I'm not crazy. Not entirely, anyway. A little bit, maybe. But isn't everyone? Haha. This game is definitely driving me crazy. Did I read that entirely? I think so, yeah. I complained about it. In other words, there's no need for me to pay attention to your bullshit. I disagree heavily, Batara. Go ahead and show me how you can lock the door with your multicolored magic simply by waving your magic staff. Just like those guys with their toad oil and all-purpose kitchen knives. Isn't it snake oil? Hello, Willow the Wandering Fox. Welcome in. Maybe you were lurking in Nue's stream, and that's how you ended up here? Welcome in. Also, hello, Gray. Miyana's the most moe Oji-san. She's adorable. Borgiria, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Search for a weakness. Were they all definitely dead? If one of them is just playing dead, this isn't a closed room at all. Nanjo confirmed that all of them were dead. However, due to the devil's proof, it is impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong
つ
diagnosis.
まり誰かが生きているのを南條が見逃した可能性をゼロにすることはできません。
In other words, that child cannot make the likelihood that Nanjo overlooked them being alive equal to 0. He would be a god-awful doctor if he could not tell if someone is dead or alive. I understand that I think some people can like weaken their pulse on purpose so that it's not very easily detectable, and I can see the servants doing that, but like at some point you've gotta like be able to tell if someone's dead or not, right? I don't know. Also the wounds and everything? Unless they have some masterclass makeup artist here, it's kind of hard to fake. My knife is all-purpose if I use it for all purposes. True. Anything can be all-purpose.
来たな。悪魔の証明か。
Here it is, that devil's proof.
だがそいつをぶった切る剣は存在する。
But there exists a sword that can carve that up.
なんだよあいつら。
What's up with them?
わらわをのけ者にして楽しそうだな。
Looks like they're having a good time leaving me out of the discussion.
わらわは対戦者であるぞ。
I'm his opponent, am I not?
少し構えたよ。
Doesn't he have any time to spare for me? She's so
本来
cute.
チェスを対戦するのにあたり相手とのコミュニケーションは不要です。
Fundamentally speaking, communication with one's opponent is not necessary to the act of competing in chess.
お嬢様は指し手以外のコミュニケーションによって煙に巻いていた。
Every time you've communicated with him outside of making your moves, you've used that opportunity to confuse
そ
him.
れに惑わされないということはつまりこういうことなのでしょう。
Perhaps this is the result of him not wanting to be led astray. You would not believe how feral this made me. Look at her. Look at her. Oh my god. She's the cutest ever. Sorry, I'm taking a screenshot. I have to save this image. She might be the cutest thing to ever exist. Oh, okay, there we go. Pouting.
なぜだか納得がいかぬ。
For some reason, I don't like it.
お嬢様はチェスを挑んでいるはずではないのですか？
You are challenging him to a chess match, are you not?
でもそうだが。
That's true, but... Gah! Beatrice puffed out her cheeks as though to say, I don't know why, but I don't like it.
警察未介入の現場につき、人間側からの検証は限界があります。
Hello, KBC Jazz. Welcome in. Because the police have not yet arrived at the crime scene, the human side's ability to inspect the scene is limited.
厳密な死亡確認のため、復唱要求することを推奨します。
For a strict confirmation of death, I recommend that you have that child repeated in red. Why is she just backseating Batra now? Is he not capable of thinking for himself anymore?
よっしゃ。ここで叩くぜ。復唱要求だ。
Okay, that's where I'll strike. Repeat it.
被害者6人は全員死亡している。
The 6 victims are all dead. I'm kind of annoyed at him in this episode. He really is so useless. He's not doing anything. Has Batra ever been capable of thinking? I mean, yeah, a little bit. Sorry, I don't want to cover him up that much. Maybe I'll put it here? I think that's okay. That way I'm not covering it with my fat head. Wado is doing it all? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. I want him to think a little bit more. He's not really saying or doing anything. Why is he even here if he's just gonna repeat what she's saying, you know? Why are you here, Batra?
お嬢様、復唱要求が出ておりますよ。
Milady, he has told you to repeat something in red, has he not?
おい、 ぼんやりするな。
Hey, enough lazing around.
負傷拒否か。
Do you refuse to repeat it?
ここからが戦闘開始だ。
This is where our battle starts. Boing.
おったっとった
Oh my god, she's the cutest.
すまぬすまぬいいぞ応じるぞ
Sorry, that's fine. I'll answer. What?
金蔵源氏シャノンカノンゴーダ熊沢の6人は死亡している
These 6 are all dead. Kinzo, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, and Kumasawa. But, she hasn't confirmed that they're all dead in those exact rooms. So that's what I'll keep in mind. Even if Batara won't play the freaking game, I will. Oh, this soundtrack is different than usual.
何をぼんやりしてるんだか。
Where does your paid actor theory land now, Spooky? It's still ongoing. The people in those rooms could be paid actors, but the actual servants could still be dead, but just not in those rooms, you know? Makes sense. Why are you so out of it?
よし。
Okay,
まずは一つ引き出したぞ。
so I've already got one out for you.
死んだ
Out
ふ
of
り
you,
って王道
sorry.
はまず否定されたな。
We'll start by denying that classic trick where the victims are playing dead. Oh no. No, stop thinking. That's my theory.
もはや手加減などせぬぞ好きなだけ来るがよ
I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me how you like.
次々斜め切りにしてくれるわ
I'll slice them slantwise, one after another.
続けて復唱要求。
Then repeat this.
6つの部屋には誰も隠れていない。
No one is hiding in any of the 6 rooms.
俺たちが認識していない人物の存在を否定してみせろ。
Let's see you deny the existence of people we aren't aware of.
どうする
I'll answer. Damn it.
6つの部屋には誰も隠れていない
There's no one hiding in the 6 rooms. I mean, they're not hiding. Theoretically, she isn't lying. They're not hiding. They're playing dead in plain sight, no? It has like 3 versions. It's awesome. Yeah, this track is really nice. Need something other than Dead. Hmm.
よし。
Did I screenshot that? Sorry, did I read that? There's no one hiding in the 6 rooms. I did screenshot it, and I did read it now.
これで6人だけの缶詰は確定だな。
Okay, now I'm sure it's only the 6 of them in the can.
そして死んだふりもない。
And they aren't pretending to be dead.
どうするどうする
I mean, theoretically, she still only confirmed that they are dead, and that no one is hiding. Which, you know, they could still be dead in another place, and those people that are playing dead in those rooms are not hiding, strictly speaking. It annoyed me so much that Batora never clarified what dead means. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I don't mind that he isn't clarifying it, because why would you need to clarify what dead means if dead is, you know, very obvious to you what it is? I don't know. Why would you have different definitions for death, you know? I mean, I guess there's mental death and there's physical death, but why would they be mentally dead and then also look physically dead? And why would she mean mentally dead? I don't know. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
人間にはもはやどうし
It's
ようもないで
possible.
あろうが
But why? Batora's mentally dead. Oh no. What will you do? What will you do? As if a human could manage anything by
お
now.
となしくわらわの素敵な魔法で鍵を自由自在にするところをひざまずいて拝見しろよ
Obediently kneel to the fact that I can control locks at will with my wonderful magic, okay?
寝言言ってろ。
Quit babbling.
さらに復唱要求だ。
Repeat this too.
6人の死亡は即死である。
The 6 deaths were instant deaths.
そうし
Instant deaths?
ほうどういう意味だそれ
Huh, what do you mean by that? They were one shot. That's what he means. He's been playing too many video games. That's not how it works.
犠牲者の一人が瀕死の状態で部屋まで逃げ延び
It means there's a possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room.
内側から施錠して密室を作った後生き絶えた可能性もあるということですよ
And after locking it from the inside to create a locked room, they passed away. That's actually a really interesting idea. I like that.
密室殺人の古典ですか
A classic closed room murder
致
trick.
命傷を与えしばらく後に死ぬことを確実とした場合
One requiring that the victim receive a fatal wound and then die later.
犠牲者が殺人者から逃れるために部屋にこもり
It is possible for a closed room to be constructed unexpectedly if the victim holds up inside the room to escape the murderer.
施錠後に死亡したなら予期せずして密室が構成されることはあり得ます
And then dies after locking the door.
その可能性を否定するには
In order to deny that
赤
possibility,
き真実にて6人は即死であったことを宣言する必要がありますよ
you will need to proclaim that the six died instantly with the red truth.
よかろうよかろう赤き宝刀にて切り伏せよう
Very well, very well. I'll slay you with my red treasured sword.
6人は即死であった
The six died instantly.
即死とはつまり攻撃を受けて即座に行動不能になったという意味だ
By died instantly, I mean the targets instantly became incapable of action after being attacked. Okay, this is the point where I would clarify what she means by death. By dead, by dying. This is where I would be like, wait, what? That's not what dying means. Here I can see the frustration. I would be like, huh, what do you mean? That's not what dying means. Umineko. Truth. There we go. Using instantly in the definition of dying instantly. After they are tagged, they can't perform any actions, I guess. Chess and all. I mean, that's weird, though.
まあ完全な意味での死亡には数秒もしくは数分をかけたかもしれない
Well, it might still have taken them several seconds or minutes to die in the complete sense of the word.
だがいずれにせよ自らの意思で何かの行動を取ることは完全に不可能であった
Man, this track is so good. But regardless, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will.
その意味において即死と断言できる
In that sense, I can confirm that they suffered instant deaths.
ここまでは古典の確認だ
Up until this point, I've just been checking for the classic tricks.
お前との密室対決はここからだぜ
Now's when our showdown over the closed rooms really starts, okay?
犯人は内側にいないなら外にいる
If the culprit isn't on the inside, they're on the outside.
そして外からどうにかして彼らを殺したんだ
So they somehow killed from outside the rooms.
何を血迷うか
Have you lost your mind?
密室イコール外部からの殺害は不可能であろうが
After all, a closed room murder equals murder is impossible from the outside, right?
故に魔法殺人しかありえない
That's why only a magical murder would be possible.
いいや違うね
No, that's wrong.
殺人は現に起こったイコール密室ではないが正しいのさ
The right approach is a murder really happened equals it isn't a closed
お
room.
前がどう煙に巻こうとこれは断じて密室じゃない
No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room.
密室に見えるだけのまがいものだ
It's a sham that only looks like one.
しかしバトラ様
However, Batara-sama,
室内には犠牲者しかおらず
only the victims are inside the
それ以
rooms,
外の人物は室内には存在しておりません
and no other people exist inside the rooms.
そして お嬢様の密室定義により
And by my lady's closed room definition, I have to take a screenshot. Hello, Zero, welcome in. She's saying that no time passed between them being attacked and dying. It sounded to me more like she... I don't know. The way she worded it sounded like she meant dying instantly would mean that they're incapable of moving. But yeah, she did clarify later that they only had a couple of seconds at most. Yeah. I'm doing good, Zero. How about you? I'm kind of bothered by me looking to the left and the chat not being there. You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be there. Couldn't do things after getting mortally injured. Okay.
外部からの遠隔殺人を明確に否定されております。
Remote murders from outside the room have been clearly denied, have they not?
待ちな。
So... By that definition, poison also wouldn't work, right? Hello, Fumina! Welcome in! Thank you so much for the raid! Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. I didn't know... I mean, it's kind of obvious that there would be, with the franchise being as big as it is, but... I kind of didn't know that there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. I hope you had a good stream. I hope it was really fun. Hello, Ayo. Hello, Brett's Death Monarch. Hello, Morgana. Hello, 7-Bit. Welcome in. This is chapter 3, episode 3, yes. I don't know what exact chapter of episode 3, but yes. Yeah, we're playing Umineko. We're currently discussing the 6 closed room murders, where each key for the room that the corpses were found in was either in a different room or inside the room. It is kind of blowing my mind the more I read. PS1 Yugi, it's hell to play. Oh, why is it hell to play? Hello, Fumina! Thank you so much! Hope you had a good stream, and I hope you can relax now. Hope you can wind down, get something to eat, maybe some rest. Whatever you need, please do so. RNG Nightmare. Oh, that does not sound very fun. Also, thank you for the lurk, Bread's Death Monarch. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, we're just reading Umineko right now, trying to solve the murders as per usual. Hope you enjoy. Suddenly get absurdly strong decks too. Oh. Symphony of the Night though, and it's been fun so far. Nice! I still haven't ever touched it. Just call me Monarch. Okay, I will. Yeah, this song is so good! All of them are so good. I've been going left and right this whole stream. The game I played is hard because of RNG and also the game cheats. Okay, that sounds really evil game. I feel like older PlayStation games were all evil. Hope you're enjoying Umineko. It's really fun. Really fun. Thank you. Thank you. Watching this at the gym. I hope you enjoy, Ayo. What do people do at the gym? Workout. I hope your workout goes well. I've never been in the gym, actually. I've always just worked out from, you know, at home. Or maybe with friends at their home or outside, but never in a gym. Hope it goes well. Get those gains, yeah.
遠隔殺人の定義は広大だぜ。
Wait, the definition of remote murders is pretty broad, right?
何も部屋の外から釣り糸を引っ張って室内の犠牲者を絞め殺したとか
It's not just about pulling a fishing line from outside the
そんな
room
のばかりじゃね
and strangling the victim inside the room.
え。例えば
For
トラ
example,
ップだって立派な遠隔殺人だ。
a trap would make for an excellent remote murder. Also
トラ
poison.
ップ
A trap.
ほうそれは何か
Huh, and what might that be?
一例だが、彼らにあらかじめ決められた部屋に入り、
Just as an example, let's say they were instructed to enter rooms that someone had picked out beforehand.
内側から施錠して自ら密室を作り出すように指示を出す。
And lock the doors from the inside to create the closed room themselves. That's kind of what I was thinking too, especially in the first episode. Oh my god. I was thinking this because of the epitaph mentioning that those who remain shall tear apart the two who are close. And I was saying that, you know, they are alive inside the room as long as the door doesn't open. And there really could be like a trap like that, where if you open the door, they just get killed. But why would they willingly do that, you know? Knife on a string over cheese, of course. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Satoko, you know, she could have been involved.
そして室内には彼らがそれとは知らないトラップが仕掛けられており、
A trap was set up in those rooms that they didn't know about.
それによって彼らは殺された。
And that's what killed them.
どうだ、これなら矛盾は生じない。
That doesn't contradict anything.
問題ありません
There are no problems.
現状と整合します
It corresponds to the existing state.
当方も問題ありませんよ。
There are no problems on our side either.
お嬢様の密室定義にも抵触しません。
It does not conflict with Milady's closed room definition. But how do you get rid of the strings and like the weapons and stuff? It would be kind of difficult. Hello Hina, welcome in. It is a great game. Satoko being the mystery 19th person, it all makes sense. Yeah. I mean, technically we have Satoko in the form of Lambda Delta. If Satoko was making the closed rooms, Patara would have no chance of winning, let's be real. True. He'd be killed immediately. I love how shit these models were. I don't think so. I think they're really nice. I used to actually really dislike the art style, but I really like it now. I think they look really, really cute and charming. The expressions are the best part about them. Let me just look at them. They're so cute. I don't know. I love it. Hope the survivors are too rattled to check. I don't know. If they're investigating the room, they find a letter and everything. Wouldn't they also notice weapons lying around? They usually examined it pretty well. The Higo sprites are a big oof, but the Umi ones are great. They definitely look a lot better. They're an improvement over Higurashi for sure. I don't know. I thought they were super goofy in the beginning and I thought they were not that good, but after looking at them for so long, and especially comparing it to the console versions, I don't think they have the soul, you know, what people usually say. I think the biggest part for me liking these over all the other sprites is just how expressive they are. That's it. Period. But yeah, Umineko is a big step up from Higurashi. Has that dog in it. I mean, they're not anatomically correct and everything, and they're not perfect, but who needs art to be perfect, you know? I think art can just be imperfect. And I think this is the best. Yeah, the Steam port, oh god, that's not good. You should get the 7th mod installed and play at least with a console version, because the Steam, the manga game, or the whatever, pachinko, whatever you want to call them, they're not good. Do you learn to draw hands somewhere along the way? I wonder how the art for Siconia is. Haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I'll forever be a glazer of Ryukishi's art from this point on. I've just grown so accustomed to it and I like it so much.
なんだその間抜けな推理は
What's with that stupid reasoning?
いずれの室内にも不審なものは発見されなかったぞ
Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right?
そのトラップはどのような形状なのか。
What form did that trap have?
どこに隠してあってどう作動したというのか。
Where was it hidden and how did it operate?
それを6人分、客間、
Oh my god.
客室、控室、貴賓室、ボイラー室、礼拝堂の6つで説明してみせよ。
Explain that for all 6 of them. In the parlor, the guest room, the waiting room, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel.
どうだ、できまい。
Well, you can't, can you?
反論拒否。
I refuse to counter that.
それを説明する必要はねえ。
There's no need for me to explain. Oh yeah, he's on the I can just claim bullshit and leave it open-ended.
にもかかわら
Trip.
ず俺の主張は揺るがない。
And failing to do so doesn't doesn't damage my claim, sorry.
なんだと。
What did you say?
ベアトリーチェ、悪魔の証明ですよ。
Beatrice, it's a devil's proof.
そのトラップの形状を説明できないことがすなわち
The fact that he cannot explain the nature of the
トラ
trap
ップ否定の理由にはなり得ない。
does not in itself deny the existence of such a trap.
うまい。
Anything fucking goes. in this episode, anything goes. It's the same style, but just a bit better, if I remember right. Nice. I do plan on reading that too. I don't know if on stream though. I played with console for Umineko, but there are a few sprites I think are unequivocally just better in Fukushi's style. 100% agree. I mean, I think there's some that look a little less goofy and look a little better in the console, like Tomitaka, for example, is a good example, as you have also mentioned before. Trying to think of who else. I feel like the creepiness of Idiot just kind of goes lost in the other sprites. He has to look like a total goof and like an idiot so that the creepiness from him can come across. But everyone else, I think, kind of just looks really good.
強引ながら見事な一手です。
Well done. Well overbearing. A wonderful move.
すっかり手慣れよって。
This guy is getting completely used to this.
チェック。発見できていない殺人トラップ X によりこの密室殺人は成立可能だ。
Check. Due to murder trap X that we couldn't find, it'd be possible to establish this closed room murder.
赤き真実にてそのチェックを切る。
I'll kill that check with the red truth.
6人はトラップで殺されてはいない。
The 6 were not killed by traps.
トラップの定義は
And the definition of a trap? Ah, shit. Ah! I didn't take a screenshot. I was so immersed in the reading. Sorry. I'll go back. Put that in there. Oh,
あれだ。
that's it.
犠牲者が勝手に引っかかって発動するやつとかだ。
Something that activates when a victim triggers it on their own.
それだけじゃない。
Oh, and that's not all.
リモコンで発動するとか、タイマーで発動するとか、
It also includes things activated by a remote control or by a timer.
そういうのもろもろ全部含めたやつだ。
Everything of that sort. So even poison, huh? She's so food obsessed. Wouldn't poison make a lot of sense? His outfit with the yellow shirt and the sunglasses tucked in a pocket. It's awful, but it makes it good, you know?
仕掛け人が直接関与することなしに殺人を遂行できるすべての仕掛け。
So, it refers to all arrangements that could carry out a murder without the direct participation of the one who planned it out.
という定義でよろしいかと思いますよ。
Perhaps we might sum it up that way.
どうだ。
How's that?
切り返したぞ。
I've struck back.
人間にこの密室が破れてたまるか。
As if I'd let a human crush this closed room. She really is like a child.
お前も勝つために必死だな。
You're looking pretty frantic to win too. What?
どういう意味だ。
What do you mean?
お前は自分の存在を俺に認めさせようと必死に戦ってる。
You're frantically fighting to make me accept your existence.
今まで俺は一方的にお前にいじられてるだけだと思ってた。
Until now, I thought I was just being toyed around with by you one-sidedly.
しかし実際は違った。
But that's not actually
お
true.
前もまた俺の切り返しに必死に抗い 自分の存在を示そうと戦っている。
You're also frantically resisting my counters, fighting to show that you exist.
俺はよ、
Now,
今ようやく実感してるぜ。
I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me over whether I'll surrender or not.
俺とお前の対等な戦いなんだ。
This is a fight between you and me on an even footing.
さて、面白くなってきたぜ。
Okay, now it's starting to get interesting, isn't it?
6人は密室で死に、部外者は中に誰もいない。
All 6 died in closed rooms, and no outsiders were inside. I like how cocky he's getting, even though he's like putting 0% of his effort into this whole game. He's just taking answers from other people and presenting them as his own. It's awesome. This is her game. Bato's being so defensive ever since he ignored her awesome backstory. Yeah. I mean, she's always been quick to react in this way in different scenarios, like with the scenario that always appears when Shannon talks about love, then them being kind of dismissive towards her, denying her existence, and Batra just kind of not caring about her. It hurts her. It makes her really sad and defensive. You, me, and the emotional support witch that keeps backing me up, yeah.
そして、
Basically.
外部からはちょっかいは一切出せず、トラップもないときだ。
There was no meddling from the outside, and also no traps.
これまでの俺だったら、これはもう魔法の仕業しかありえねえだろうと思うだろうよ。
Up until now, I'd probably start suspecting that this had to be the work of magic.
このタイミングで、お前におかしな魔法を実演されたら、そりゃ屈服もしてただろうさ。
And if you decided to show off some bizarre magic at this moment, I might even have surrendered.
これがお前の得意戦術だ。
It's that favorite strategy of yours.
俺の指し手をすべて迎撃しきり、俺が万策尽きたと膝をつく。
You intercept all my moves, and in the moment I've exhausted all options and fallen to my knees,
心の防御力が弱るその瞬間に、これ見よがしにおかしな魔法を見せつけて、一気に勝負を持っていく。
when my heart's barriers are at their weakest, you show off some strange magic and take the game all at once.
昔から短気な性分で
That short temper is something this child has always had,
勝ちの目が見えると焦る悪い癖は相変わらずです
along with a bad habit of rushing things when victory is in sight.
お嬢様はお預けができない性分ですから。
After all, Milady cannot stand putting off a match.
うるさいうるさいぞ
Hey, shut up, shut up!
バトラの手番であるぞ
It's Batara's turn, right?
そなたが進めたトラップの駒はわらわが赤にて切り捨てた
I finished off that trap piece you advanced.
次は何を繰り出すのか
What should I repeat next?
存分に来るがよ
Show me what you've got.
おっ、トラップまで潰され、一見こいつは完全な密室犯罪に見える。
Right. Now that even traps have been defeated, this looks like a perfect closed room murder at a glance.
だからこそここでチェス盤をひっくり返すぜ。
And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now. Batara stealing answers is why he's so confident, because he knows his own fucked up logic won't cut it. I mean, he's really just still throwing bullshit at the wall, hoping that it sticks. But now he has the claim that he can just say, well, I don't have to prove anything. I can just say bullshit and it counts, you know?
来たそなたの得意技よ
Here it comes, that special technique of yours.
何をどうひっくり返せるというのか
How exactly are you going to spin that around?
見せてみろ
Try showing me.
ああ、見せてやる。
Yeah, I'll show
い
you.
かにして密室の中の6人を外から殺すかを考えるんじゃない。
I don't need to think of how 6 people could be killed inside closed rooms from the outside.
ああ、ダメだダメだ。全然ダメだ。
Ah, it's all useless, it's useless, it's all useless.
そうさ。どうやって外から殺すかじゃない。
That's right, the question isn't how you can kill from outside the rooms.
どうやって中で死んで密室にするかなんだ。
The point is how they died inside the rooms, making them closed rooms.
そうさ。これが答えなのさ。
That's it, this is the answer.
犠牲者6人の中に犯人が含まれていたと考えれば
If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit,
この密室は極めて容易に説明できる。
this closed room can be explained extremely easily.
何
My bet is still on Kinzo. My prediction is that by the end of the game, it just turns out Ronove and Varugiria background shipping Beato and Batara. Yeah, I can see that. It would be kind of fun and cute. I don't need to think. Batara Ushiromiya. Batara blaming one of the people. I mean, he has no other choice, right? It's been confirmed that only 18 people are on the island, so he has to.
バカな
What? Ridiculous.
その6人は死んだとはっきりわらわは赤で言ったはず
I believe I clearly said in red that those 6 of them were dead.
死んだのは6人。
Oh, there were 6
犠
deaths.
牲者は殺された5人。
5 were victims who got killed.
もう1人は自殺だったと仮定すれば、この密室は打ち破れる。
But if you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this closed room.
確かに
Certainly.
犯人が最後の密室に自ら入って施錠し
If the culprit locked themselves in the final closed
自
room,
らの命を絶てばこの連鎖密室は成立します
and threw away their own life, this closed room chain would be established.
犯人の自殺
The suicide of the culprit.
普通では考えられない一手ですか
Normally, it would be an unthinkable move.
考えられないから存在しない
But the argument that the unthinkable cannot
は
exist,
存在しない
cannot be abused, cannot be used,
そしてその動機を立証する義務は彼にない
and he has no responsibility to demonstrate a motive.
魔女とのチェスでしか使えない実に力強い一手
A truly wonderful move which can only be used in a chess match against a witch.
まあ動機がないとは言い切れません
Well, one cannot be certain that there was no motive.
例えば金蔵は余命があとわずかと宣告されています
For example, it has been announced that Kinzo only had a short time left to live.
残りわずかの生を惜しまず自らの死をメッセージとした
Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life and used his own death to send a message.
という動機づけも不可能ではないかもしれません
It might be possible to attach such a motive.
お嬢様こ
Milady,
ちらの手番ですね
it is our turn. I'm trying to think of who else might have had a motive. Well, Kinzo's just kind of screwed up in the head, right? So he can just have the motive of being crazy. And also, you know, kind of wanting to mess with his family. Then we have Shannon, who could have the motive of wanting to be with Joji and not trusting him to be able to convince his family to let them get married or something. Then you have Kanon, who kind of just hates the whole family, but does he hate them enough to kill them? I don't think so. I don't really have a motive for him. I don't really have a motive for Kumasawa or Goda either. Genji would just do anything that Kinzo tells him to, so, you know. Kinda extreme, but you go, girl. I mean, this is the Ushiromiya family you're dealing with, you know? Kinda have to go extreme at that point. It's in their blood.
まさか死者の尊厳を踏みにじってまで犯人を生み出してくるとはな
Indeed. To think you trample even the dignity of the dead to create a culprit.
こいつ血も涙もない男よ
What a heartless, cold-blooded man. Oh yeah, he refused to do that in episode 2, huh? He has no other choice now.
死者を犯人に仕立て上げる。
I'll set up the dead as the culprit.
この非道なる一手は前回のゲームでお前がカノン君を陥れた一手だ。
This worse than inhuman move is one you used to attack Kanon-kun in the last game.
この手でお前に一矢報いることが
Even though the games are different, I'm taking a shot back at you with this move.
ゲームは異なるがあの時のカノン君への手向けだ。
As a tribute to Kanon-kun for that time.
今俺はあの時のカノン君の無念を晴らした。
Just now, I freed that Kanon-kun from his regrets. Goda got his dinner ignored one too many times. He had too much pride.
ここで手を休める義理はありませんよ。
You have no responsibility to hold back here.
全員の死因が自殺でないことを確認すべきです。
You should try to confirm that suicide wasn't the cause of any of their deaths.
復唱の要求を推奨します。
I recommend that you have that child repeated in red. Thank you for the backseating.
あ
Right!
あだが自殺なんて甘い言い方じゃ追い詰められねえぜ。
But suicide's a naive word that won't corner her.
ベアトこいつで詰めだ。
Beato, this'll stop you.
復唱要求
Repeat it.
6人は全員他殺である。
The 6 deaths were all homicides.
これは痛いですね。
That is painful. She can't repeat it!
ああどうしたよ。6人が殺されたんだろう。
What's wrong? All 6 of them were killed, right?
最も単純な一番最初の前提の確認でしかないぜ。
I'm just confirming that simple premise we've had from the very beginning, right?
復唱できねえのか。
Can't you repeat it?
復唱を拒否する。
I refuse to repeat it.
理由は特にない。
There's no reason in particular, she said, trying to hold in her laugh.
ここでの復唱拒否はリザインと同じ意味だぜ。
You realize that refusing to repeat this part is the same as resigning, right?
チェックメイト。6人の中に犯人がいて密室構築後に自殺を図った。
Checkmate. One of the 6 was the culprit and they planned to commit suicide after constructing the closed room.
以上だ。
That's all.
待て。
Wait.
いや言う。
No, I'll say it. I'll say it.
望み通り赤を行使するぞ。
I'll use the red like you want.
6人は誰も自殺していない。
None of the 6 committed suicide. What? Was she? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Oh my god. Now she's confusing me. That's so evil! I love her so much. She's so cute. Everything she does, I just swoon over her. This does make me think on what murders in the past these arguments could apply to. Yeah. I was thinking about the same thing. It could technically apply to all of them. I'm assuming that she kind of uses the same template for a lot of the closed room murders, if not all of them. Kaguya-sama Love is War looks different than I remembered. Basically the same thing. Hello, Wordsmith Pico. Also, hello, Grok. And hello, Zach. Hi. What did I miss? Batara having the answers trued out for him and basically just, trying to solve the 6 closed room murders that we have now. All the servants and Kinzo are dead, and all the keys that would be used to, get into the rooms that each of the victims are in are inside each of the rooms too. That's not what Batara exactly asked to repeat. True. He did ask for her to confirm that they were homicides. So she didn't outright confirm it. Time to read between the lines. Maybe one of them tripped and died on accident. Maybe Kinzo just took a nap in the incinerator and it just turned on. It was an accident. It wasn't suicide. It was just an accident. Oopsie. How did that happen? All 6 died in accidents where they all locked their own rooms. They just fucking tripped and died. Oh, warm. Did I screenshot this now? I did, okay. He's gone old, okay? Old people love Incinerator, true. I do wanna... yeah. This. I'm gonna screenshot this in case he doesn't, you know, notice that she worded it weirdly. That was my friend's theory, word for word. Nice. Maybe I am your friend in secret. It's just me DMing you on an alt account. You don't know it yet.
どうだ
How's that?
これで満足か
Are you satisfied?
切り返したぞ切り返した
I've struck back. I've struck back.
なんだよ言えるじゃねえか
Patara, please, you have to notice. What the hell? So you can say it.
だがおかしい
But that's strange.
ななんであんなに狼狽してるの
Why are you so panicky?
気のせいよ
It's your imagination. That's quite literally how she said it.
わらわも今回は必死でな
This time, even I'm feeling the pressure.
そうそう心にゆとりもないのだ
That's right, I don't have any leeway.
深く気にするでない
Pay it no mind.
要求した副賞が改ざんされています
The line you asked that child to repeat has been altered.
ごまかされない
Do not be fooled. The backseating is crazy.
ダメみたいですお嬢さん
It seems to not have worked, milady.
そうか
Oh my god, but that's right.
6人全員他殺とは言ってない
She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides.
6人全員自殺にあらずとこいつは言い換えた
She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide,
ということは他殺でも自殺でもない人間が混じっているということだ
which means one of them wasn't killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide.
ああ分かったぜ分かった分かった
I've got it, I've got it.
これが真相だ
This is the truth.
6人の中に潜む犯人 X は5人を殺害後密室を構築した
Culprit X, who was hiding among the 6, murdered the other 5 and then set up a closed room.
そしてそこから何かの方法で逃れるか隠れるかするつもりだったんだ
After that, they planned to escape from or hide in that room by some method.
ところが事故った
However, they got in an accident.
本人すらも想定しない理由により事故死し自ら望まない密室殺人を構築したんだ
The culprit died from an accident that even they hadn't expected, setting up a closed room murder that even they hadn't desired. I mean, how stupid do you have to be for that to happen, though?
これで決まりだぜベアトリーチェ
Now it's over, Beatrice.
チェックメイトだ
It can only be Kinzo, right? He would be that stupid. He would be so stupid as to fucking lay in the incinerator just for fun and die. I don't know. I can see it. He would be that much of an idiot, tempting fate. You know, he did it to raise the risk, to make the miracle bigger, to make the magic bigger. He was like, what if I just turn this on? Play the roulette. Yeah, he just did it for fun, just to see if you can, you know, raise the stakes a little bit. Yeah, that must be it. Patara was the one who proposed the new line, and even he doesn't notice. Yeah, you know, it's Patara. He is incompetent after all. They both have their own hype men. Yeah, it's kind of cute. I like how this chapter just turned into a 3v1 against Beatrice to fluster her. It's kind of nice. I like that even Ronobe isn't fully, like, glazing her. Damn it!
その程度でわらわが追い詰められると思うか
Did you think I'd be cornered by something like that?
この程度でリザインを叫ぶものか
I'd never announce my resignation over something like that.
その愚かなチェックメイトわらわの赤き宝刀にて何度でも叩き切ってくれようぞ
I'll slice up that foolish checkmate with my red treasured sword over and over again.
6人の中に事故死は
None of the 6 died an accidental... What?
失礼。当方ここで作戦タイムを所望いたします。
My apologies. We request some time to strategize. She got so riled up, Ronove, stop! Yeah, let her speak! No! She got so riled up, she was just getting so cute!
しばしのご猶予をお許しください。
Please allow us a brief postponement on this matter.
正当な要求です。
It's a fair request.
問題ないかと。
Perhaps you should accept it. I don't accept it.
強化するぜ。
Let's take a break, champ. Coach calling her back to the corner of the ring. It's so good. It's so good. Sure, take a break.
俺も今まで散々そいつをもらってる。
I've been given those a lot lately.
今度はお前がそれを使う番だぜ。
Now it's your turn to take one.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
さあお嬢様、こち
Come, milady, this
ら。
way.
そして心の中で静かに数字を100数えましょう。
And let us quietly count to 100 inside our heads. You have to calm the fuck down. She's like a rabid dog. Best voice line in the game. Donove quickly covered Beato's mouth with his hand as she grew thoroughly panicked and agitated, suspending the game. He pulled Beato away, supposedly to hold a strategy conference. It's so silly. It's so silly. I bet she bites. I hope she bites. What else are those fangs for? True. There are wolves on in Rokenjima, yeah. Sure are. She's one of them. Okay, there's gonna be an ad break in like 2 minutes, so I'm gonna let her have her little break while we have our own little break, and then I'll be back. Let her figure it out. I'll be back in 3. Okay, hello. Someone was talking about cookies earlier. Oh yeah, Lark said have a cookie, and I was like, oh, something sweet sounds nice, so I got some more cake. I made cake last week? This week. And we ate it so fast, and I kind of like that cake a lot. It's just a lemon cake, and it's awesome. It's delicious, so I got some cake, and I'm eating it on the side. I'm sorry. I don't usually eat on stream, but I really want to eat this. So good. Yeah, this is Umineko is awesome. I really hope everyone is enjoying it. Cookie. I want a cookie. I also made cookies the other day. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I actually did make cookies too. I made cake and I made cookies. I made oat cookies, and they turned out really nicely too. Yeah, I found a temporary solution. This is what we'll have to make do with. It's okay. I like how the colors of the names don't really match up, unless why is Broken Bee yellow, but in chat it's like more of a green. Anyway, whatever. It's okay.
あの悪魔の執事め。ベアトが熱くなってる今が追い込む絶好のチャンスだったんだが。
Damn, that demon butler. When Beata got all hot, I had a perfect chance to corner her. Beata normally acted like she was graceful and above it all, but she actually had a really short temper and got mad easily. Her usual intellect had less of a voice when she got excited.
ロノウェは冷静ですね。
Man, get him out of here. I want to see her lose her cool. I'm still pink, yeah. Ronove certainly is thinking clearly.
おそらくあの子に頭を冷やす時間を与えたのでしょう。
He probably gave your opponent some time to cool
あ
down.
の子はあなたのチェックを外すことに意地になり、
That child grew too stubborn trying to remove your check
いくつかの大駒をやすやすと見捨てようとしていた。
and was about to easily let several large pieces go.
第一の番など、所詮は前哨戦。
After all, the first twilight is only a skirmish.
あの子は引き際を誤りかけた。
The correct move at that time would have been to withdraw.
つまりどういうことだよ。俺のチェックメイトは成立したのかしないのか。
So, what does it mean? Did I reach a checkmate or didn't I?
あの子は赤を宣言しかけていました。チェックメイトにはまだならないでしょう。しかしおそらく頭を冷やしたあの子はリザインを宣言するに違いありません。
Sorry, I'm chewing. That child was about to say something in red. You probably wouldn't have reached checkmate yet, but most likely you can expect our opponents to resign once they've cooled their heads.
まさかあの負けず嫌いがか。
You're joking, even though she hates losing that much?
ええ。負け戦は1秒でも早く兵を引き上げ、いかに損失を減らすかが肝要です。
Yes, in a losing battle it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try and minimize your losses.
難しいのはそれが負け戦であるかどうかを測ること。
The difficult part is gauging whether it's a losing battle or not.
あの子の執事はそれを冷静に判断したようです。
Your opponent's butler seems to have calmly made that decision.
やれやれ。
Oh well.
つまりあと一息のところで逃げられたってわけだな。
In other words, she managed to escape by a hair's breadth.
ビシッと。
Getting checkmate and delivering the final blow won't be that easy for me.
でもこれはあなたの勝ちだと判断してよいでしょう。
However, you should count this as your victory.
向こうはギリギリで大きな損失を踏みとどまったようですが、
It seems they barely managed to prevent a large loss,
それでもかなりのダメージを与えたに違いありません。
but they certainly sustained considerable damage.
その傷の深さはあの子の狼狽ぶりから十分理解できたはずですよ。
The scale of that child's panic ought to make the depths of that wound quite clear to you.
だな。
Seriously.
これ以上いじめたら泣き出しちまいそうだぜ。
It feels like she'd start crying if I bullied her anymore. I kinda like it when he bullies her. I like it when she bullies him and the other way around too. It's great. They have a good relationship going. As we talked, Ronove returned with Beato, who wore a meek expression. She didn't have her usual bold smile, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore.
よう、
Hey,
お前の出番だぜ。
it's your turn.
次の一手は決まったかよ。
Did you decide on your next move?
リザインだ。
I resign.
この場はお前に勝ちを譲る。
For now, I will let you have your victory. Beato told me that frankly. It seemed she'd taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. What did he want? No, stop my mouse!
お前
Oh,
がリザインしたってのは結局のところ。
no. I can't go back anymore. What did he want her to confirm? Last, he was like, oh, someone died accidentally, right? And then she wanted to say something. But she never got the chance to say it, so... Thanks to Batra, we do get to see more of Beato's Gap Moe. True! Beato told me that frankly, it seemed she'd taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It was a bit of a killjoy, and I lost my desire to deliver the final blow.
俺の説もお前の説も互いが相手を否定できないイーブンって意味だからな。
Well, now that you've resigned, that just means we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other.
負けってよりは引き分けって意味で受け取っとくぜ。
You should treat it more like a loss. More like a tie than a loss, sorry.
気持ち悪い同情などいらぬわ。
I don't need your disgusting sympathy.
この場はわらわの負けだと言っておる。
I'm telling you that I lost this round.
そなたには雨に濡れた犬を、さらに棒で叩く趣味があるというの。
When you find a dog drenched with rain, do you have the sudden urge to whack it with a stick or something? That's quite an analogy.
ねえよ。
Nope.
お前と違ってな。
I'm not you. Even though she ridiculed me horribly when I showed signs of defeat, this is the best she's got when the tables are turned. I did feel that was pretty cowardly of her, but I decided to act with dignity as the victor and let it slide. Beato resigned. That's the one result of the first twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move if one of the 6 was the culprit, and that person died in an accident. No, she probably could have countered it, but for some strategic reason, she admitted defeat. It felt less like I'd won, and more like I'd let her slip away at the last second. Maybe they're thinking it's better to let him believe this? Maybe they're thinking, oh, he's gonna get stuck on the whole accident thing, and that he won't actually be able to reach the conclusion, and if she had denied this or said something that would make it seem like she was denying this, it would confirm something else. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just in case. It does seem like not saying it made her kind of win in a way, or maybe not give up the actual reason. So, I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. He wanted all deaths were homicides. Well, that was before. Hello, Potoy. Welcome in. In English, she said none of the 6 died in accidental... Huh. I mean, oh yeah, well, she did say that, but she didn't say it in red. So I don't know if it counts, you know? It was never red, so I'm just gonna ignore it. And I'm gonna assume... I'm gonna assume that it's not entirely correct, at the least. Maybe because it was interrupted, it could not be red? Maybe. But still, the fact remains that it wasn't red, so it must be important as to why it wasn't red, or maybe it just doesn't count because she, I don't know, didn't get a chance to fully say it, or maybe because it wasn't supposed to be said. I don't know. Difficult to say now. In a chess match with a witch, battles can be fought solely with pieces known as X, which require no detailed explanation. Thanks to the devil's proof, I could create as many strange fictions as I wanted and use them as fighters in our argument. But that only works in a chess match with a witch. In our human world, you can't use such abstract theories to explain things. This first twilight was a chain of 6 closed rooms. It certainly may have been possible for humans. Beato wasn't able to deny all possibilities. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime, or why or how they actually did it. It may seem strange to hear me say this after I won, but for some reason I felt like I'd been more satisfied if Beatrice had been able to say definitely that it was impossible for humans. I mean, yeah, because that would also mean that he didn't have to suspect any of the people that he actually holds close. But also because it would just be easier. I managed to avoid specifics using an abstract piece called X, but I couldn't deny the sense that some eerie intent that must never be known was filling up this entire mansion. Chapter end. Kenzo is not human. Unfortunately, he might be. I wonder if the whole thing surrounding his sickness is ever going to be relevant, or if it's only used to establish the fact that he doesn't have a lot of time left to live. I kind of want to know what's wrong with him, except for the fact that he's an alcoholic and that probably his organs are shutting down and whatnot. But it said that Nanjo gives him a medicine which makes him seem fine, but on the inside he's really sick. I wonder if that's like somehow relevant at all. I guess we'll see. When being besieged, your true enemy isn't so much the fear of an unseen culprit, as it is keeping such fears alive for long periods of time. Maria got bored and started complaining that she wanted to watch TV. There was no TV in the lobby, so she decided to return to the cousin's room on the second floor. The adults probably wanted to make sure Maria wasn't left on her own. They told all the children to go to the second floor cousin's room. Joji, who was grief-stricken by the loss of his fiancée, led the cousins up to the second floor without any resistance. At first, Nanjo had been reading a book in the lobby, but when he noticed the relatives looking like they wanted to discuss something sinister, he said, "It seems I am in the way," and returned to his room on the second floor. Back to discussing the inheritance. He is drinking the heaviest booze known to man like it's tap water. Yeah. The abuse problem too? Hmm.
ぼんやりしてるとそれ以上に眠気が来るぜ。
I'm starving, and if we just keep sitting around, we'll get sleepy too. Surely they've been eating things even though Goda is dead, right? They probably have canned stuff.
無理もないわよ。
It's only natural.
私たちは夕べ寝てないんだから。
We didn't get any sleep at all last night.
きっちり24時間をここで籠城することになるだろう。
We will probably end up being barricaded here for a full 24 hours.
無理をせず交代で仮眠する方が賢明かもしれんね。
It may be wiser to take naps in turns instead of overstressing ourselves.
そうですね。
True.
私と主人がここにおりますので、辛い方は無理せずお休みになってください。
My husband and I will remain here, so I ask that anyone having trouble staying awake take it easy and rest. I keep thinking about it in the back of my mind, but if no one died from an accident, couldn't it be that someone killed all the other 5, but got hurt in the process? No, but she said they all died pretty quickly after getting attacked. Oh god, this is so difficult. It depends on how short that time frame was, but someone could have attacked the other person and then, like, they didn't notice, they didn't plan on dying. Did it mention Kinzo having some kind of wound? No evidence of a struggle. Could you be able to tell if his body was like half burned? Oh god, I don't know. Listening to Beato, she also said accidental in Japanese, but it being Japanese, she could have confirmed or denied with the last word, since not is the final word of the sentence. She could have said either way. But if she was trying to use the red truth, then she would try to deny it for sure. Something is definitely sus about Kinzo. He has been burned twice now. Yeah, everyone always dies in the same way, but Kinzo is the only one getting burned? That's not right. I don't know. Our opponent might be expecting that, right?
この人数では崩せなくても、いくらか減ったらその隙をついてくるつもりかも。
Even if they couldn't defeat this many people, if that number shrinks enough, they may plan to use that moment to strike.
ここには7人いるわ。
There are 7 of us here.
2人ずつ交代で3時間くらい休むとか。
So we could take 3-hour shifts in pairs.
明日の朝は遠いわよ。
Tomorrow morning's a long way off.
今はまだ体力があるからいいけど、今夜は辛そうね。
We still have some energy now, but tonight's going to be tough.
せやな。
Sure will.
眠いもんはおるか。
Anyone sleepy?
無理せんと休んでや。
Don't overdo it and get some rest. Hideyoshi looked around at everyone to see who wanted to sleep first, but no one volunteered. Everyone was just as tired, but no one was bold enough to go to sleep right away. Their fear of the unknown culprit was just as strong as their sleepiness.
おらんかいな。
Nobody?
まあみんな無理はせんでな。
Well, don't overdo it, everyone.
眠くなったらその時に考えるわ。
If we get tired, we'll deal with it then.
確かに眠いけど、今はそういう気分じゃないの。
I'll admit I'm sleepy, but I'm not in the mood now. As Eva spoke sharply, she reread the second letter from Beatrice, which had been found in the boiler room. Beatrice had sent them 2 letters, which had repeatedly told them to solve the riddle of the epitaph. And she'd even provoked them by saying she'd give up her assets and the headship if they could solve it. Eva took out a notebook and opened it to a page with the epitaph copied onto it.
例の碑文ですか？
Let's go! Thinking about it. Maybe the whole thing is an act? Beato just hates him in particular. Have to burn him so that he doesn't make it to heaven or hell. Something like that. If you believe in that sort of stuff anyway, which, you know, I feel like in this game, they talk about purgatory and stuff, but if you're... Oh god, do I have to think about stuff like that too? Like, if your soul gets burned, you don't go anywhere, right? Or do you just go straight to hell? Man, I don't know anything. It is accidental and she's trying to get him to overthink. Maybe. Could be, for sure. But I don't think so. She seems very honest. Could it be that the siblings will finally cooperate? That'd be a hoot, wouldn't it? Keep him stuck in Purgatorio? Post first Twilight Kiria, she's gonna blow this whole mystery wide open. Right, we'll finally get to see her big brain moment. They're finally doing the thing they were told to. Let's go! Never tried this. Was it as good as Higurashi? Hello, Neb. Welcome in. As of right now, I don't know. I think I might even enjoy this more than Higurashi. Umineko is fantastic. You should definitely read it. Don't let me spoil you, please. You should read it for sure. But I don't know. I have to finish Umineko to say if I like it more than Higurashi. I definitely like the whole mystery they've got going on. For Higurashi is basically, it feels very impossible to figure out if you're not paying super close attention and like reading way too much into things. At least there's some parts of the mystery that you can never solve truly, I think. Love Higurashi's horror vibe, it really gets under your skin. Story-wise, I think I like Umineko more. I definitely do like the Higurashi anime. I think that the horror in that is super well done, and I think the VN was also incredibly scary, though I think Umineko also has very scary moments, especially in like episode 1 and 2. I did feel scared in some parts of it, you know? But I feel like Higurashi was definitely a lot scarier, and the anime kind of killed me as a kid, you know? I was scared out of my mind. I actually had nightmares from Higurashi, which I think is why I never finished it. I think I never finished it past the stuff that happens in episode 2 in the visual novel. The music in Umineko is way better. I think I agree. It's very different, but I like both, but I do like Umineko a lot more. I agree. They're both good though. Is this that epitaph?
ええ、
Yes.
犯人の言いなりになるのは尺だけど、
I hate doing what the culprit says.
どうせ時間は腐るほどあるわ。
But we do have time to waste.
退屈しのぎにはちょうどいいと思って。
I think it's the perfect way to stave off boredom.
悪くない時間潰しだ。
Not a bad way to kill time.
兄弟で仲良く挑戦してみようじゃないか。
Why don't we challenge it together as siblings?
借りてもいいかしら？
Can I borrow that?
もう少し大きく書き直すわ。
I'll rewrite it just a little larger.
夏日さん、もう少し大きな紙はないですか？
Natsuhi-san, do you have a slightly larger piece of paper?
使用人室に紙くらいあるでしょう。
There should be paper in the servant
取っ
room.
てきます。
I'll bring some. Natsuhi immediately brought a blank B4 sheet of paper from the servant room. B4? I don't think I've ever seen paper with a B? How big is that? Sorry, this is totally irrelevant, but I am curious. What the hell is B4? It's like ace sizing paper, but with different base. Ah. B4 is between A4 and A3. Interesting. I did also have nightmares from Higurashi. It is actually terrifying. Don't spoil Miggles, but I remember a scene from your reading of the novel where you went, "I'm tugging at my shirt from fear." It was actually incredibly scary. I totally did expect Umineko to be the same kind of scary, but it's not, which I don't mind. But I do really like the horror in Higurashi. It's really well done, I think. Rich people paper. Hello, Fifth Lord of Sheep, welcome in. Common usage for fancy people. I've never seen it in my life. Maybe? Oh god, I'm clicking the wrong things. Okay. Kitty borrowed Eva's notebook, wrote out the epitaph on the paper, and laid it out on the table. Then everyone quickly peered down at it. They automatically formed a crowd.
話には聞いとったが、こら難儀な謎やな。
I've heard about it, but really, this is a tough riddle.
何を言っとるのかさっぱりや。
I don't have a clue what it's talking about.
私も一時頑張って挑戦したんだけれど、同じくさっぱりだったわ。
At one point, I also did my best to solve it, but I was just as clueless.
分かってたらのこのこと金策には来ねえさ。
If you did know, you wouldn't have come all the way out here with a plan to make money.
何しろ10トンの黄金だからね。
After all, it's 10 tons of gold we're talking about.
真面目に読むのは初めてなんだけど、
This is the first time I've read through it seriously, but
大雑把に言って3部分に分かれてるのかしら。
roughly speaking, couldn't it be split into 3 parts?
昨夜から思っているが、キリエさんはだいぶ頭が切れるようだ。
Yes, she's incredible! I've been thinking this since last night, but you really are a good thinker, Kirie-san. We have a very rare Klaus being nice moment. He had one with Shannon, I think, and now he has one with Kirie. Oh my god! He can be not an asshole. It's incredible. It's kind of crazy that I'm getting more unsettled at the stuff in Higurashi, even though some really horrific things happen in Umineko. I don't know. I think the whole, idea with people being potentially possessed by demons in Higurashi, as you know, they kind of build that up. They're like, is it demons? Is it humans? What is it? I think that kind of makes it really scary because I don't know, you have to consider the possibility that something super demonic and supernatural, even though you do the same here, I don't know, it feels more scary in Higurashi for some reason, I don't know. But maybe that's just because I'm really scared of like ghosts and stuff in games. I'm really, really scared of ghosts. Even though I know they don't exist, but when I can't watch, what's the movie series called? The one where they have like basically live footage of like people's rooms and then there's like ghosts coming into the rooms and it's super scary. I don't remember anymore. It's really popular though. Paranormal Activity, yes, I can't watch that. That is awful. It makes me so scared. I don't like that. I don't know. That's why I thought Higurashi was like terrifying. It felt kind of like ghosts or demons or I don't know, it was scary. Umineko is more grounded in reality, theoretically, yes, agreed. Higurashi dwells on the horror where Umineko kind of doesn't, yeah. For sure, I don't think Umineko is supposed to be horrifying in that way. It's horrifying in different ways, for sure. They're really boring? Nothing happens? No. I can't agree. Those are extra scary for me because it doesn't happen in mansions or something, but regular ass places like my room. Exactly! Like, that's fucking terrifying! That's so scary! I used to get quite scared of horror before, but now I don't really anymore, except for like jump scares. For me, it's the other way around. I used to be someone who watched almost exclusively horror movies when I was a younger kid to teenager. And then I grew up and I became deathly afraid of horror things. And now it's very much the opposite for some reason. I don't know.
ひょっとすると私らでは解けなかった謎をいとも簡単に解いてしまうかもしれんね。
Perhaps you'll be able to easily solve this riddle that we couldn't.
あ
Go, go, Kitty, yeah.
あ、切り絵は鋭いぜ。変な先入観を与えない方が面白い捉え方をできるかもしれないな。
Yeah, Kitty is sharp. She might find a more interesting take on it if it comes in without any confusing biases. Witches are real, though. True. Can't deny it anymore. If a demon comes out of the darkness, I'll just punch him in the face. That's a good tactic. They won't like that. When I watch, I'm fine, but going in, I get scared. Oh, it's the opposite for me. Oh, oh, scary, scary.
そうね。キリエさん、率直にこの碑文を読んだ感想を聞かせてくれないかしら。
That's right. Kiria-san, would you mind giving us your honest opinion after reading the epitaph?
多分皆さんのお役には立てないと思うわ。
She said that she thinks that it's like cut into 3 parts? 1, 2, 3? Is that what she means? Or is it the search for the golden key? Not the golden key, sorry. Just the key for the golden land. Then the twilights. And then, oh yeah, maybe this is what she means. The search for the golden key, the twilights, and then the 4 treasures that the witch can bestow. I doubt you'll find it useful.
みんな買いかぶりすぎよ。
You all give me too much credit.
いやいや、思いつきは適当でいいんだ。お前の話を聞かせてくれ。俺が悩んだ時はいつだってお前のヒントが助けてくれたんだからな。
That's fine. Just say whatever comes into your head. Let's hear your thoughts. The hints you give always help me out when I'm worried.
あら、役に立ってたのね。
Oh, so I have been helpful.
今更だけど嬉しいわ。
It's nice to finally hear about this now.
よせやい。いつも感謝してるぜ。
Come on, don't I always thank you?
仲がいいのね。
You two sure are close. Well, they better be. They're married.
羨ましいわ。
I'm jealous.
ぜひ私たちにもヒントを授けてほしいわ。
And the rest of us would also love to hear these hints of yours.
いいのよ。どうせ時間つぶしなんだから、リラックスして。
We're just killing time anyway, so relax, okay? Kitty was disturbed at being praised so highly for something so strange. But they had all the time in the world. Realizing that this was just a way to waste time, she decided to accept the role she'd been given.
きっと見当違いなことを言っちゃうと思うけど。
I'm sure I'll say something off the mark,
じ
but,
ゃあ、私の考えで進めてみるわね。
well, I'll put forward my ideas. I can tank watching horror, but if I have to play it suddenly, I'm an infant toddler baby. I'm the same for both, unfortunately. I wish to be better at it, maybe with enough practice. Tear them apart? No! Oh god, now that you say it, it would make sense for these two to get torn apart. It got specifically mentioned, no? You two sure are close. The foreshadowing. We'll see.
最初に言った大雑把に言って3部分に分かれるとはどういう意味かね。
Indeed. What did you mean in the beginning about how it could be divided into 3 parts, roughly speaking? Ooh.
そのままの意味よ。
Well, I just mean what I
気
said.
分はだいたい3つのパーツに分けることができると思うの。
I think that overall, the epitaph can be divided into 3
まず
sections.
最初の「そこに黄金の鍵が眠る」までの5行。
First, there are the 5 lines up until there sleeps the key to the gold.
ここまでが鍵のありかを示した最初の部分。
You mean the golden land? She recited it wrong. Up until this point is the first part, which directs you to the location of the key.
そして第10の番までの11行が黄金鏡そのものの場所を示した部分。
And then there's the part formed by the 11 lines up until the 10th twilight, which refer to the location of the golden land itself.
そして残りの6行は黄金鏡にたどり着いてからの部分ね。
And the remaining 6 lines make up the part after the golden land has been reached. Oh my god. Are these like different shades? I can't tell. What?
そうですね。
Huh? Is this what they meant? I've known this. It's nice that they give me that tip, but I've known this tip. Just play Alien Isolation and build up tolerance. Hello, little crew. I would love to see Spooky play Alien Isolation. Oh, I don't know if I can. I can give it a try, but isn't that like one of the scariest games? Supposedly? It depends on what you see as scary, but you know. This track is awesome. Having had morphine after an operation once, I can say that it feels exactly like this music. Awesome. Good to know. Not scary at all. Man, I get scared playing Bloodborne, and I don't think it's classified as a horror game, okay?
鍵と黄金鏡。
I see. It can be divided into 3 parts about the key. The Golden
そ
Land,
して黄金鏡の宝の話の3つに区分けできますね。
and the Golden Land's treasure.
その程度なら我々だって把握しているさ。
Even we have been able to grasp that much.
鍵と扉、そして宝を示す3つの区分だ。
The 3 sections that refer to the key, the door, and the treasure.
兄さん余計な口を挟まないで。
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Klaus. Nissan, don't butt in any more than you have
キ
to.
リエさんに自由な発想で発言してもらうのよ。
Let Kiria-san speak her ideas freely.
キリエ、続けてくれ。
Kiria, please
俺た
continue.
ちもそれについては同じ認識だ。
We see it the same way you do so far. Bloodborne is definitely a horror game. Huh. Bloodborne has given us so many good moments. I guess so. Okay, well, I feel less bad for thinking it's scary. It's actually funny because I saw Ray is also playing Bloodborne, but he's playing it off stream. And he posted a drawing of... Oh god, what was it about? Anyway, he said something along the lines of it's a scary game. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Ray is really cool. He played through Dark Souls on stream. Is Blue Sky not? Okay, whatever, it doesn't work. I don't know if it's Blue Sky or if it's me. It's not working. Anyway, I'll look for it later.
それで、
So then,
最初に出てくる懐かしき故郷というのはどういう意味なのかしら。
I wonder about the meaning of that thing in the beginning, the beloved
普通
hometown.
に考えたらお父様の故郷を指すのかしら。
Normally, that would refer to where grandfather lived, right? I'm not sure if it refers to where Kinzo lived, but maybe more so where Beato lived?
懐かしきとわざわざ断るところを見ると、とても思い入れのある故郷のように思えるわね。
Since father went to all the trouble of telling us that it's beloved, we can imagine that it's a hometown he had strong feelings for.
お父さんは小田原の出身だったかしら。
Did father come from Odawara?
生まれは確かに小田原だけど、
Odawara is definitely where he was
お
born.
父様が懐かしむ故郷は多分小田原のことじゃないわ。
But I don't think that's the hometown he loved.
それについては多分兄弟たちは全員同じ場所で認識してるわね。
I imagine all of us siblings have the same place in mind.
そうね。多分小田原じゃないわね。
Right, this probably isn't Odawara.
聞いた話ではとても楽しい少年時代だったそうよ。
From what I've heard, you had a very fun time as a youth.
親父の人生で最大の不幸は多分後宮家の当主にさせられたことだろうよ。
Being made the Ushiromiya family head was probably Dad's greatest bit of misfortune in life.
おそらくな。
Probably.
親父殿は後宮家の当主になど本当はなりたくなかったのだ。
Father didn't actually want to become the head.
それはどこなのかしら。
So where is this place?
そしてそこに鮎の泳ぐ川は？
Is there a river there where sweet fish swim?
当時はあったんじゃないかしら。
Maybe there was at the time.
今はだいぶ開発が進んだでしょうから鮎はいなくなってるかもしれない。
There's been a lot of development there since then, and the sweet fish might have disappeared.
お父様が少年時代の当時に鮎がいたと言われると非常に調べるのは困難ね。
It would be extremely difficult to investigate whether sweet fish were there during grandfather's boyhood years.
川も一本ではないだろう。
And there probably isn't just a single river.
地理的な意味では我々もそれぞれにかなり調べたつもりだ。
I believe we all gave this a thorough investigation geographically.
エヴァに至っては現地まで直接調べに行ったんじゃないかね。
You even went to the actual place to investigate directly, right, Eva? Damn, she really wants to figure that out.
あくまでも旅行としてよ。
Maybe if the Great Kanto earthquake never happened, Kinzo would just be rich and idle. I wonder, why did he... Okay, so, oh god, let me think about this. The Kanto earthquake happened, and he made a pact with Berto to rebuild the family. I wonder if he did that before he was announced family head or after. Because why would he do that if he didn't want to be family head? Why would you meddle in the affairs of your family to such a degree to where you could potentially be given the role of family head after, you know?
でも街並みは当時と完全に変わってる。
That was only as a vacation, but the townscape had changed completely since father's time.
何しろ戦争を挟んでるのよ。
After all, it was caught up in that war, wasn't it?
お父様がどこに住んでいたのかさえ正確な場所の把握は不可能よ。
By now, even precisely locating the place father lived is impossible.
多分お父様が自ら現地へ足を運んでも
I imagine that if father went there himself now,
今となってはどこに住んでいたか特定できないでしょうね。
even he wouldn't be able to pick out the place he'd lived anymore.
あちらさんも随分目覚ましく復興したって話だからね。
Well, after all, those guys have also gone through a remarkable recovery.
鮎の川と言われてはっきりとした地名は出ないの？
Does the part about a Sweetfish River bring any place name clearly to mind?
そりゃな。
Well, yeah.
何しろ鮎だぜ。
After all, they're sweet fish, right?
水がきれいな川に住むってんだから、それこそ心当たりの川は無数だったろうさ。
People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless rivers that might work.
親父が無邪気に鮎釣りをした小川も、その後の開発で埋められたりもしただろう。
Any stream Dad innocently went sweetfish fishing in was probably buried by the development later.
戦前の地図、もしくは戦前の現地に詳しい人でもいりゃ話は別だが。
It'd be different if we had a map from before the war or a person who knew a lot about how the area was before the war, but
多分そういう話ではないわ。
it probably isn't something like that.
どういうことだね。
What do you mean?
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。
Behold the Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown.
黄金鏡を目指す者よ。これを下りて鍵を探せ。
You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key.
ここまでの2行で一度開業してるのよね。
After these two lines, there's a single blank line. Damn, she's looking at everything. The whole formatting of the epitaph,
こ
too.
の2行だけで何かの提示が成立するのよ。
Something is being presented with just these two lines.
その何かに基づいて次の3行が続くんじゃないかしら。
What if the next three lines continue based upon that something?
何かの提示ってなんやろな。
What do you mean something is being presented?
わからないわ。
I don't know.
とにかくその2行だけでどの川かわからないとか、そんなあやふやじゃなくて。
At any rate, what we can get from these two lines alone isn't something vague, like the question of which river it might be,
はっきりとこの川という特定ができるのよ。
but the clear presentation of the keyword river.
ひょっとすると水の流れる川ではないかもしれないわね。
It may be that this isn't a river with a water flowing down it.
鮎の川は何かの比喩かもしれない。
The Sweetfish River might be some kind of metaphor. Rudolph really married up, huh? He married one heck of a woman. River. Sweetfish River. What could that be a metaphor for, though? I was thinking... I kept thinking like, oh, maybe this isn't supposed to lead to like an actual place somewhere off of Rokkenjima. Like it has to be on the island, no? What if this is how to get to the hidden mansion where Beato was in? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can only think of a path, like a road. I mean, I'm thinking that it might be a very convoluted way to tell them how to get to the hidden mansion, you know? Why would it be anywhere outside of Rokkenjima, you know? How would you be able to confirm where it is if you can't go there, you know? Hmm.
鮎という言葉にはどんなイメージがあるのかしら。
What sort of impressions does the word sweetfish give?
鮎は鮭みたいなもんや。
Sweetfish are like salmon.
淡水魚だが生まれてすぐは海に出るんや。
They're freshwater fish, but they go out into the ocean right after they're
そ
born.
して大きくなると川に戻ってきて生活し、
When they get big, they go back to the river to live there.
そこに産卵して生涯を終えるんや。
And then they spawn there and end their lives there.
まあ一度は家を出るが大きくなって戻ってきて卵を産むってなあたりは
Well, they leave their home at one point, but when they get big, they come back and lay eggs.
一族繁栄的なイメージがあるかもしれんな。
Might be able to link that to the idea of clan prosperity.
へえ、淡水魚なのに海水でも生きられるのかよ。
Oh, they're freshwater fish, but they can live in the ocean?
知らなかったぜ。
I didn't know that.
川魚だから海には出られないと思ってたぜ。
I figured river fish wouldn't be able to live in the sea.
鮎は香りが良いことから香魚とも呼ばれるとか。
And they're called sweetfish because they have a pleasant aroma.
私は食べたことがありませんが、塩焼きにするととても美味しいそうですよ。
I have never eaten one, but I have heard they can be quite delicious when grilled with salt.
なんや夏日さん。
What's that, Natsuhi-san?
鮎の塩焼き食ったことあらへんのか。
The fuck? Let her not eat fish. You've never eaten salt grilled
う
sweetfish.
まいで。
They're delicious.
今度ごちそうしたるわ。
You should try it sometime soon. A mackerel, mackerel freshwater fish. The gold is hidden behind Kumasawa's mackerel stash. Oh my god, a mystery solved. A fishy aroma. I agree, sweet fish yum. I don't know what sort of fish I've eaten in my life. One time, that was the last time I was ever in Venezuela, but my parents took me to a beach and they had some kind of grilled fish there. They like caught it freshly and then they grilled it right in front of you and seasoned it and everything, and it was yummy. It was really, really good. Probably the best experience with fish I've ever had, but I have no idea what kind of fish that was.
庶民の料理だ。
It is a food for commoners.
君の口にはふさわしくない。
Hardly appropriate for your mouth. What the fuck?
これは私の妄想なんだけど。
Let her eat the fish. It's okay. This is just my wild idea.
実は私、鮎の皮のイメージから家系図を疑ったことがあるの。
But the impression I get from a sweetfish river, it makes me suspect a family
鮎
tree.
は一度海へ出るけど、
That's
ま
what
た
I
生ま
was
れた川に帰ってき
thinking.
て産卵するんでしょ。
The sweetfish got into the ocean for a time, but they returned to the river where they were born to spawn, right? I was thinking the same thing. It's like a child, kind of. You go out, you live in the world, and then you come back, and then you settle down, sort of.
まるで私のことみたいだなって思って。
It reminds me of myself.
そうね。
You're right.
今だから白状するけど、
By this point,
私もあなたとマリアちゃんのことを指してるんじゃないかって疑ったことがあるわ。
I can confess that I've sometimes suspected that it refers to you and Maria-chan.
なるほど。
I see.
川を下ればやがて里あり。
If you follow the river downstream, you will find a village.
家系図を下っていくと見つかる里はマリアの名に含まれる里の字だけだ。
Oh, wow. If you go down the family tree, all you find is Maria's name. Only her name has a... whatever, red ri or sato, the character father uses for village here.
でしょ。
Isn't that right?
でもみんなも知っての通り、お父様はマリアのことを毛嫌いしてて、
But as you all know, father doesn't like
ほ
Maria,
とんど言葉を交わしたこともない。
and he almost never speaks with her.
それにお父様はかつてマリアに全然違う名前をつけるように言っていたの。
And in the past, father told me to give Maria a completely different name.
それを私が勝手にマリアにした。
I just decided to go with Maria on my own.
お父様はそれをとても怒っていたわ。
Father was very mad about that.
その経緯を考えると、
Given that,
財産や家督を引き継ごうという大切な碑文にマリアの名を引用するとはとても思えなくて。
it's very hard to imagine that he would reference Maria's name in his precious epitaph about who would succeed his wealth and inheritance. I mean, Maria and Batara would make sense, since it was mentioned that they have Kinzo's black blood, whatever that means. Could that have something to do with this? Oh my god, I don't know. This is so... Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown. I don't even know anymore. Running through my beloved hometown. What if it's referring to her blood, like a stream of blood? So what if this first part is really referring to Maria? We'll see a village. The shore the true will tell you of. Oh man, I don't even know, man. I'm trying. I'm trying to make it make sense. Spit out the name Kinzo had for Maria. I'm kind of curious now. What did he want to name her? I love bringing up stuff and then actually saying the actual stuff we want to hear out loud. It's so infuriating! Bloody stream, JoJo. I don't know anything about JoJo, I'm sorry. Sadly, a translation issue. It's okay. I won't think too hard about it. It's too vague anyway. I'll just let them figure it out for me. I'm gonna be Batara in this case.
マリアちゃんに碑文を読ませたことは？
Have you ever let Maria-chan read the epitaph?
ええ、もちろんあるわ。
Yes, of course.
でもさっぱりみたいだった。
But it looked as though she didn't have a clue.
魔女の復活の儀式みたいな相変わらずのオカルト話ばかりでさっぱりだったわ。
She didn't have a clue, and she kept going on about that same occult stuff, about how it was a resurrection ceremony for the witch.
親父殿とマリアの接点。
A connection between father and Maria.
確かに両者にオカルト趣味はあるが、全く交流はなかった。
Certainly, they do share that occult hobby, but they never interacted.
私もマリアのことを指しているとは思えんね。
I can't imagine that it refers to Maria either. Could still be.
とわざわざ冒頭につけているのが私は気になるわ。
Maria knows this freaking epitaph by heart. Yep. What sticks out to me is how he went out of his way to add beloved to that first line. What if it's referring to Beato? He calls her his beloved.
さっきみんなが言っていたように、
Like you all just said
お
now.
父さんにとって後宮家の当主となることが不本意だったとしたなら、
If father was reluctant about becoming the Ushiromiya family
それを
head,
懐かしんだりするかしら。
would he have fond memories for anything connected to that?
それ
Beato?
は後宮本家を指す小田原ではないと思うの。
I don't think this can be Odawara, which represents the Ushiromiya head family.
私にはこの懐かしきという冒頭の一語が
I believe this word beloved here at the
お
beginning
父様にとってとても大切な思い出深い場所を示しているに違いないと信じているんだけれど、
must refer to a place full of very important memories to father. The hidden mansion, maybe?
まあいいさ。
Well, that's
当
fine.
時の地図もさっぱりだから特定は困難だが、
It would be hard to pinpoint since we don't have a trace of a map from that
とにか
time.
く親父の少年時代の故郷に鮎が泳げる川は何本かあったろうさ。
But at any rate, there were probably several rivers with sweet fish swimming in them near Dad's hometown during his youth.
水の流れる川なら
That's if we're looking for a river with water flowing down it, right?
それから
And then?
続けてよ、キリエさん。
Go on, Kirie-san.
川を下ればやがて里ありからの産業はちょっとよくわからないわ。
I don't really understand the three lines starting with if you follow the river downstream, you will find a
これは
village.
多分鮎の川の2行に連結してる。
It's probably linked to the two lines about the Sweetfish River.
鮎の川の正体がわかれば多分自然と意味がつながるものなのよ。
I imagine it's something we'd understand automatically if we knew what the Sweetfish River really
それ
was.
がわからない限りこの産業を先に解こうとしても無駄でしょうね。
Until we figure that out, it's probably useless to try and solve those three lines any further.
鮎の川の正体がわからねえとお手上げか。
I find it kind of interesting that they're doing this only with the adult siblings and their spouses. Why are they not including the cousins? Or Nanjo, for that matter? I feel like any input would be good input, and especially like, I don't know, younger children would have some wild ideas and could maybe like, I don't know, give them something to start with that they wouldn't normally think of. I love how much they use on this and still don't understand any of it. Yeah, they're trying. They're trying their best. Maria would start screaming about Beato and solve it anyway. Real. Okay, there's gonna be an ad break in like a minute or so. So before they keep going through the whole epitaph, I'm gonna start that ad break right now, and then we can read the rest. Inheritance. Yeah, but still, it's not like the children are gonna steal it away. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back in 3. Okay, I'm back. I posted the Bloodborne thing that I was referring to in the Discord server. I don't know what's up with Blue Sky, but it's so slow. And also the embed is not loading in the Discord, so you just have to trust me that it's about Bloodborne being scary. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Welcome back to you too. Finished my cake since I didn't eat anymore because I was bothered by my chewing time. And I hydrated. So let me actually sit down differently. as I crack my whole body. Maybe they put the Blue Sky server in the cool to pool. What? I read it wrong. In the pool to cool, not in the cool to pool. That makes no sense. Alright. Maybe. Put me in the pool to cool, please. It is so warm. How warm is it actually? Hold on, I'm checking. That's not that bad. It's only like barely above 20 degrees Celsius, but it feels like fucking 50 in my room right now.
しかも文字通り河川を指した保証もねえときた。
Is that like something that happened? I wonder why it's getting hotter, guys. What? So, we're stuck unless we know what the Sweetfish River really is. And there's no guarantee it even means a literal river. Seriously.
あゆってのは何なんだ。
What's up with the sweetfish?
親父の好物か。
Did Dad like to eat them?
それとも何か特別な意味があるのか。
Or does it have some special meaning?
深読みしても仕方ねえのか。
Is it pointless to read too deeply into it? No, never pointless. Read too deeply into it.
ミクロとマクロの2つの視点を持たないと視野が狭まるわね。
If you don't have both a micro and a macro perspective, your field of vision grows narrow.
深く考えすぎないで。魚が泳いでいる川、あるいは流れ。
It might be better to be flexible and avoid thinking too deeply.
下るもの、登るもの。
Focusing on an abstract image of a river where fish swim or something that can flow.
そのくらいの抽象的なイメージにしておいた方が発想が柔軟になっていいかもしれないわ。
Up or down.
そして鮎の川の答えが続く産業を経て黄金鏡の鍵にたどり着く。
Then the answer behind the Sweetfish River passes through the next 3 lines and makes its way to the key of the Golden Land.
こうして考えると3つの区分というのは間違いかしら。
If you think about it this way, I wonder if it was a mistake to split into 3 parts.
正確には4つの区分ね。
There's actually 4
鮎
parts.
の川を下り、
Go down the Sweetfish
黄
River,
金鏡の鍵を見つけ、
find the key to the Golden
黄
Land,
金鏡へ旅立つ、
journey to the Golden Land,
そして黄金鏡の宝。
and the treasure of the Golden Land.
Hmm.
Man, it's almost like the question arcs. Not quite, but it's kind of like the question arcs. We're all in Kinzo's underground boiler. Let's go. A Blue Sky lead programmer or something put his phone in the pool because of an overheating warning and it broke. I don't know. From what I've heard, the Blue Sky programmers are kind of weird anyway, so I'm not surprised by that. That's really stupid.
せっかくだ。
Truly intriguing.
続けて碑文の最も中心的な部分である。
Well, you've gone this far. Would you mind continuing and telling us your opinion of the most central portion of the epitaph?
黄金鏡にたどり着く第10の番までの見解を聞かせてくれんかね。
Up to the point where, when we reach the Golden Land on the 10th twilight,
この碑文の中で最も象徴的で、そして
that's,
物騒な部分ね。
that's the most symbolic and also the most disturbing part.
生贄なんて単語が連発するから、
Since the word sacrifices keeps coming up,
ついついお父様のオカルト儀式と関係があるんじゃないかと思ってしまうけど。
I can't help but think it has something to do with Father's occult ceremonies.
キリエさんならどう見るかしら。
How do you see it, Kirie-san? Kirie recrossed her arms several times, peering into the paper with the epitaph copied onto it, as though she was looking through it.
これはとても難しいわね。
This is very
鍵を
difficult.
手にせし者はから始まるということは多分
It starts with the one who obtains the key,
鍵を理解していないと話が進まない。
so you probably won't be able to continue without knowing what that key
お
means.
手上げではあるけれど、一応挑戦してみるわね。
I'll have to give up on that, but I'll take a shot at trying to solve it anyway.
鮎の川が水の流れる川とは限らないように。
Just like how the Sweetfish River isn't necessarily a river with water flowing down it.
その鍵もまた本当に鍵の形状をしたものなのか疑わしいわね。
It's also doubtful that this key is actually something shaped like a key.
そうね。
Right.
暗号とかキーワードの可能性もあるわ。
It might also be a code or a keyword.
だってこの鍵は鍵穴に刺すものじゃない。
After all, this key isn't something to be stuck into a keyhole.
第一の番に6人の生贄を選ぶためにあるんだもの。
It's something that selects 6 people to be sacrifices for the first twilight.
その意味においては、この鍵は黄金鏡の扉を開くものじゃないと言い切れるわね。
In that sense, we can say for sure that this key isn't being used to open the door to the Golden Land.
しかし、物騒な鍵です。
But what a disturbing key it is.
6人もの生贄を選ぶ鍵なんて。
A key that can choose 6 human sacrifices.
鍵がどうやって選ぶんや。
How would a key select anything?
ルーレットみたいにくるくる回すんかいな。
Do you spin it like a roulette? Well, he's onto something maybe.
この鍵がある特定の6人を指し示す。
This key indicates a certain group of 6 people.
いいえ、ある特定の6つを指し示すと言うべきね。
No, we should say it indicates a certain group of 6 things.
もしこれが文字通りに生贄を捧げろという意味でないならば、
If this doesn't mean a literal command to offer sacrifices,
例えばアナグラムかもしれないわ。
for example, it could be an anagram.
アナグラム
An anagram?
文字遊びのことかね。
Do you mean playing with letters?
ええ、
Yes.
さっきローザさんが家系図の話でマリアちゃんの名前に里が含まれて、
I've been thinking about it ever since Rosa started talking about the family tree
という話をしていた時からずっと考えてるの。
and about how village was a part of Maria-chan's name.
例えばルドルフさんは懐かしき故郷という単語からずっと
It seems that ever since the words beloved hometown came up,
地形的座標的なものを想定しているようだけど、そうじゃないかもしれない。
Rudolfsson, for example, has assumed that this epitaph points to some coordinates or some other geographical feature, but that might not be the
こ
case.
れはある種の謎々、あるいは文字遊びかもしれないって。
This could be some kind of puzzle, or maybe playing with letters.
ごめんなさい。
Forgive
文
me,
字遊びとは何ですか？
but how does one play with letters?
カモメカモメカチンカチンみたいなやつさ。
Oh, well, it's like sucker merry barrels. I don't know what that means. What?
歯を抜いたらな。
What do you get when you take out the E's and R's?
みたいね。
Like that.
夏日さんは育ちがいいから知らねえだろ。
Well, you were raised well, Natsuhi-san, so you probably don't know.
歯を抜くと？
Mary? Take out the E's and R's, huh? Oh my god.
よしなさい。
I hate this fucking guy. Batra is 100% Rudolph's. Yeah, I can see it.
君にはふさわしくない品のない遊びだ。
Stop it. It is an undignified game, inappropriate for you. Only Natsuhi didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. You're too pure for this world, my beloved. It seemed she'd only guessed that the answer had to be something undignified. Going by Rudolph and Eva sniggers.
夏日姉さん、こういうことです。
Natsuhine-san, it's something like this.
マリアの謎々ブックにあったんですけどね。
This is just something from Maria's book of riddles, okay?
タヌキの手紙っていうのがあるんです。
There's this thing called a Tanuki notebook.
タの文字がいっぱい混じった暗号みたいな手紙があるんだけど、
It's a notebook written like a code, with a lot of tas mixed
タ
in.
の文字を抜くと、 そこに正しい文章が浮かび上がるみたいな。
And if you remove all of the tasks, then the true paragraph pops up.
そんな遊びがあるんですよ。
It's a game like that.
ああ、なるほど。
Ah, oh, I see. Let's finally realized the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph had posed, and her face grew red as she hung her head in embarrassment. No, it's okay. I both love and hate Rudolph. I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about him to hate him fully. He's okay. He's not perfect, but he's fine. It must be so annoying to have a husband who keeps telling you what you should or shouldn't do. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Klaus. Don't just stop. I hate this man so much. I cannot understand why she's with him, but you know, whatever.
その抜くというの
Dump
が
his ass.
案外殺すというのに転じるかもね。
So maybe kill actually means remove in that sense, right?
ええ、私もそれを思ったところなの。
Yes, I also thought
黄
that.
金鏡の鍵とはひょっとすると6文字の単語かもしれない。
It's possible that the key to the Golden Land is a word with 6 characters.
つまりタヌキの手紙の「タ」が6文字あるっちゅうわけか。
In other words, the Ta from the Tanuki notebook is actually 6 characters here?
これはややこしいこっちゃな。
This is getting complicated.
文字遊びか。
Playing with letters, is it?
日本では子供の遊びという印象が強いが、特に英語圏では知識人のこじゃれたユーモアでもあるらしい。
In Japan, it really feels like a child's game, but it's apparently a stylish form of humor among intellectuals in the English world.
親父殿が関心を示すことは十分に考えられるね。
It is easy to imagine that father was interested in it. It's kind of funny because I was going through episode 1 again a little bit, and I got to like the part where Batra was basically explaining everyone's names, and I kept thinking, does this have any significance? Surely not. And then we got to Maria's name and like the whole cross and everything, and I talked about it, you know, maybe like their chess pieces and whatnot. I can't believe that that would be so important, especially since you can only really figure it out properly if you speak Japanese, right? If you can see like all the individual characters and know what they mean, and you know, look at the whole epitaph probably as well. No? Am I crazy? I don't know. Maybe it also works in English and you don't necessarily have to look at it in Japanese. The girls are killing it. They are. They're so awesome. Hello, On. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good today. Knowing Japanese helps with the epitaph. God damn it.
ただここで急にわからなくなるの。
But by this point, I quickly lose my ability to understand
こ
it.
こまでの流れは謎に満ちていながらも非常に順番的だった。
Up until this part, it may have been filled with mysteries, but it was extremely sequential.
鮎の川、それを下れ、そして鍵を見つけろと非常に順番的。
Sweetfish River, go down it, then find the key. All of that is extremely sequential.
そしてその結果、6文字の鍵を手に入れたと仮定するんだけど、
And as a result, we can guess that we gain a 6-character key.
そうすると何から6文字を殺すのかわからなくなるの。
But in that case, we don't know what we kill the 6 characters from.
そういやそうだな。
That's right.
6文字を何から引くんだ？
Where do we pull the 6 characters from?
その提示がないな。
It doesn't tell us.
第2の番に残されし者はとある。
On the second twilight, there are those who
と
remain.
いうことは少なくともその何かは有限の文字数なのよ。
Which means that at the very least, that something has a limited number of characters.
そこから6文字を抜いて残った文字で話を進めろと読み解けるわ。
You could read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters after the first 6 characters are removed.
なのに、最初に提示があるべき何かがわからないの。
And yet we don't know what the something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning.
やっぱり文字遊びという過程が間違っているのかしら。
Are we wrong even in our assumption that this is playing with the letters? This is very complicated. Never thought about how hard it would be in English. Especially because the translations are a bit finicky. I think knowing English helps more. I'll have to look at the epitaph a little more closely. And again at Batara's explanation of the individual names of people. I don't think it's gonna be very easy, but I'm gonna have to think about it more because I didn't think about it at all. I did take it quite literally with the fish and the river and whatnot. But there's multiple ways to think about it, really. Everyone crossed their arms and fell silent. It felt like they were about to reach a novel understanding they hadn't managed before, but they stumbled just one step short. Then Hideyoshi's stomach rumbled heartily. That silence was broken by laughter. It's time to eat! Sorry.
珍しく普段使わん頭を回したもんですっかり空腹になってしもた。
Strangely enough, by spinning the gears of my head for a change, my stomach's gone completely empty.
やはり朝食抜きは答えるわ。なあ。
Looks like I can't stand missing breakfast.
夏日、ここには何かないのかね。
Natsuhi, isn't there anything to eat here?
軽食の備え程度があったはずです。
How is this guy next in line for family headship? This guy doesn't even know if they have food in the house. It's all Natsuhi. Give it to her. There should be at least enough set aside for
用意
breakfast.
しますね。
I will prepare it.
俺も腹ペコだ。
I'm also starving.
上のガキどもも腹ペコだろうよ。
And I'll bet those brats above us are the same.
しかし18人分もそして3食もここに備蓄があるのかはちょいと疑問だね。
Still, I doubt there's enough for the 18 people here, much less a full 3 meal, right?
そうやな。
That's right.
明日まで長丁場や。
It'll be a long journey till tomorrow.
一度屋敷に戻って厨房で缶詰の類でも漁った方がええかもしれんな。
Maybe we'd better take a trip back to the mansion and fish around for some canned food or something in the kitchen.
クラッカーとおつまみくらいしかありませんが、それでよければ準備できます。
When I was working on solving it, I looked up all the different English translations. Specific JP characters. The epitaph is fucked up if you wish to solve it with only the clues inside of Umineko. I wish you the best of luck because you're gonna need it. Oh man. Okay. I'll think about it for sure. Big picture, man. It's food in the guest house, right? I mean, isn't the guest house something that he was like building? Like he should know. Like he built this. It's his little plan to turn this into a resort. He should know what this place has in stock. There's nothing more than crackers and snacks here, but if that will be sufficient, I can get them ready for you all.
でも、この人数ではお昼の分も残らないかも。
But with this many people, there might not be any left for lunch.
今はそれでいい。
That'll do for now.
すまんが準備してくれんかね。
Would you mind getting those ready? Okay, I think this is a good point to stop, maybe. It's not in the middle of a discussion or anything. There's nothing crazy happening. I don't know if the chapter is gonna end anytime soon. I don't think so. I think it barely just started. So I think them moving away from the conversation of the epitaph to food might be a good stopping point, so I don't stop when it's actually getting interesting again. Let me see. Maybe. Oh, I'm not good with choosing people to raid, I think. I will raid. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna raid her. She's playing Shadow Hearts 5? I have never heard of that game. But I feel like all the other candidates for raiding kinda were either playing stuff I wanted to play myself or were about to end after like 5 hours of a stream. So we're gonna raid her. Umineko streams go by so quickly. They do! It's over so fast. Exactly the same with like Bloodborne. I don't know. I guess when you're having like a really good time, time just kind of goes by really quickly. Yeah. Retro Riona. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Hello, Skip. Thank you for being here. Yeah, let me see. Thank you, Lark. Thank you, Morgana. Thank you, Miggles. Thank you, Skip. Thank you, Trace. Thank you, Clap. Thank you, Little Crew. Thank you, Fita. Thank you, Irom. Thank you, Blood. Thank you, An. Thank you to everyone else who stopped by. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend and a good start to the next week. I think the schedule will be roughly the same as it has been this past week. And yeah, I'll probably see you tomorrow for Bloodborne. Take care until then. Bye-bye.